have a weekly podcast, League Rundown. We rate LCS and LEC. And to my, I'll admit, I don't know as much about the LEC.
Awful, is what I know.
My ratings are pretty bad, generally. I'm notorious for having bad ones. And I was also incorrect about NAVI. I had them ranked very towards the bottom because I just didn't see these rookies coming together and actually having the type of performances. And Rhilech was definitely the standout from Split 1. And also, I mean, we just heard the coach talking about that, like, he's got the mechanics, maybe work on the brain a little bit, but he's showing what he's capable of already as just a mechanically gifted player.
Absolutely, and we'll see what carry performance he can have today, because he is the man that we'll be keeping our eyes on, especially going up against SK, as the bans have already come through thick and fast.
Yeah, we got Karma, we got Orianna, and we got Nautilus. Leader banning the Orianna. There was actually a funny story we'll talk about later on about how that went for him yesterday. On the other side, though, Varus Pantheon with J4, and it's going to be Ryze locked in first pick here for Navi.
Okay, I mean, I think this is a great denial away from Leader because it is one of his most played throughout his career, and it's one of the more, Leader champion pool has always been a topic of conversation throughout his entire career, and he's always tried to argue that I can play mages, I can do all of these things, I just have skill on all these other assassin-type champions. I can have these character performances. We saw the Zed yesterday, but it did not have the impact that he promised. And so we'll see if he's looking for something interesting today. Cassio could be a good answer into the Ryze. Right now, it seems SK is instead focusing on their bot side of the Rift. Ashe Seraphine seems to be the direction. And I think it just makes a ton of sense that the current meta, Ashe Seraphine, feels very strong, especially with the Nautilus ban already. It felt like SK could read the play. Okay, well... So he's bringing out another one. He's bringing out another one. We're going to find out.
If you said guess 25 champions, I would not have guessed Yasuo. If you gave me 50, I don't know if I would have guessed Yasuo in terms of what they should go for.
The question is it purple Yasuo or green Yasuo? We're going to find out.
I'm a big fan of purple.
I know you are. But the thing about Yasuo is it's one of Leader's most played personally. I don't know about his all-time career. I can have a quick look. But it's just something where, like, Yasuo, Zed, Yone, like, these are all champions that fall under his wheelhouse. Yeah, so he's got 21 games professionally, and he has a 61.9% win rate.
Okay, pretty good win rate, actually.
Yeah, so it just kind of shows he is a player that when he gets his champions, typically performs very well. That's what he's kind of known for. And so, yeah, he's looking to get comfort. Now, the thing is, I've argued for a lot of this year that there just aren't AD mid laners that enable AP junglers. But now, this opens up the pool a lot.
It does, but you also want something to set up the Yasuo, and that's what I'm confused about. When I see Seraphine, we know the Ashe is going to go with it, so you don't have like a Nautilus to pair. So I'm expecting the jungler to provide that knockup. Maybe a top lane if you want to go like
have you heard of Diana Yasuo?
Oh, you know what? That's a good point, actually. It's been a while since I've had to guess a Yasuo game.
I mean, it's funny because most Diana Yasuo games I think I've cast have been leader games. So, but I think G2 used to do it a while ago back on the Perks roster when they used to play Yasuo bot and stuff. That's neither here nor there. Ambess are going to be removed from the pool because top lane is now going to be the focus. The beautiful thing about SK as well is that they've already demonstrated that they can play AP top laners. Like you saw the Kennen yesterday, it didn't work out super well for Wunder, but it is something that he's played a lot throughout his career. Also, he's known for playing some wacky picks on the top side of the Rift, so don't be too surprised if we do see something unique up there. But I think right now, both teams are quite happy with the bot side of the Rift that they've gotten. Both mid laners are going to be fighting for that push. The thing about Yasuo is once he gets that level 2, he can actually contest the wave very early on, actually, especially against mages who don't quite have that wave clear just yet. I would argue that Ryze is a bit of an exception simply because he does actually have access to so much wave clear early on, but that comes at the cost of mana, which Yasuo obviously doesn't struggle with. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic between the two mid laners to see who can actually control the wave and actually start moving. Ganks are going to be extremely valuable. So I'm hoping we do see things like Vi, Xin, I was going to say Pantheon Jarvan, but obviously the Pantheon Jarvan both banned away. So will that Vi be high in priority, or will the Xin instead be prioritized here as SK will get that first choice of junglers if they so choose?
I definitely want them to go. I would advise they lean more towards that engaged jungler with the AP top. We know that Wunder plays them, like you mentioned, the Kennen. The Rumble's also currently still available, unless Navi want to take it away. They take away the Kennen instead. So Rumble is still on the table right now if they want to go for that. And then that would leave open options for Skeanz to be that engage, and there it is. So it's going to be Wunder on the AP top laner. This is what Yasuo allows, like you highlighted. It is an 80 mid laner, so they can very comfortably put AP in that top side. And
the question
now
is, do
Navi
they
gets
put
to
AP
answer.
in the jungle or not? Do they want like a Diana? Do they want a Xin Zhao? Because the thing that concerns for me is I think Navi can just slam by here if they want to. Rhilech is more known for his unique picks. Like Aatrox would also fit the bill for him very comfortably right now. We joked about it for Maynter. He is branded as a bit of a tank merchant. Like that, it just seems to be his go-to, and Cassante very much fits into that motif.
Yeah, tank, assassin, bruiser, frontline, backline, all the things. But it's going to be locked in for Maynter, and now we get to see what Rhilech will pull out. Like you mentioned, and everyone's pretty much aware of at this point, loves the top laners in the jungle, but instead is going to go for that Vi, as you had also mentioned.
Well,
Was
you
a
did learn
possibility.
recently, top lane in the jungle.
True.
Vi. You know,
Yeah.
What are we going to get? Yeah, we talked about the Xin earlier. Diana was kind of the main AP option that I was thinking about. The number of knockups that SK have isn't exactly abundant.
Yeah.
But Xin has both a knockup in his Q and his ulti. Acts as a knockup as well. So.
True. But the ulti, you kind of want them to stick together because there's always the option where you knock them away and then Yasuo is not ulting everybody at the same time.
But sometimes the tech can be like your Xin, you E into, say, Nami, something like that. Then Nami gets the mark on her, so you ult everyone away from the Nami, but then you hit the AD carry, which then isolates the AD, which Yasuo can insta click onto. So
that's a good point.
There's some tech that you can do. How deliberate they are with it, we'll have to see. Because yesterday, honestly, like, so you talked about the Orianna.
Yeah.
I was convinced for the first half of that game that Lita didn't know how to do the Nocturne Orianna combo.
Press R when they're pressing R.
I watched this Nocturne fly in with no shockwave.
I was gonna bring up. I was like, we did not see synergy yesterday between
exactly.
those two.
So I was legit like, does he know it? Does he know? And then I did see it. I think I forget the exact timer, but I did end up seeing it. He ended up getting a kick, and I was like, oh, okay. So they decided that they just weren't doing it earlier on in the game, and that's fine. But I was convinced, like, I was watching avidly. I was like, is he gonna do it once this game? Like,
I'm still convinced some of Skeanz' paranoias were frustration paranoias, where he's like, I'm just gonna do it myself. Like, I don't need it. Whatever, it's fine. I see ice, I'm gonna get him. But this time around, it's gonna be a harder combo to pull off, but still, there is combos between mid and jungle. Leader and Skeanz are gonna have to find a smoother execution this time around. SK yet to pick up a win here, hoping to grab their first one of spring. Navi hoping to continue their momentum. SK versus Navi starts right now.
So first thing I notice, Leader is running the... Excuse me, I had to blow my nose for a second there.
You know, it's
Leader
anticipation. You're building the anticipation, Betty.
Leader's running Exhaust, which we've been seeing more and more from mid laners. I am personally a fan of mid laners that don't run TP.
Yeah.
Simply because I think the home guard boots, the upgraded boots, it's just so good, man. It's so good. I think it provides Leader way more side lane threat. And I've got to cut myself already because SK off to a pretty interesting start to the early game. They've hard committed into a deep invade onto the blue buff. It looks like Navi is completely unaware of this. They've set up no early vision to track it. The one ward that they did have is the Jolly Man makes his way onto the
Welcome back,
screen
Jolly
again.
Man. Yeah, learning about the lore of the Jolly Man this weekend was something I didn't expect.
There's lore?
There is lore, but back to the game. So to your point, he goes for an invade. I love level ones. A lot of people wrote off level ones with the changes going into this year, into this season, saying, yeah, with the minion spawning so much quicker, you can't do as much, but invades like this can really set a jungler behind. Rhilech is going to realize right now that his buff is gone. Oh, but Skeanz not able to smite it away, so Rhilech actually does pick up the Gromp.
That's a blunder, I think.
That's big.
He used his smite on the blue buff to secure it quicker, but then Rhilech, I wonder if he had information. He's going for a gank in mid.
He's going to go straight onto leader. That's flash early from the Yasuo. All right, you know what? I'm going to say it. I don't think that invade is going to affect Rhilech very much.
A lot is happening right now. So there's a couple things to break down. Number one, I don't know how Rhilech was made aware, if he even was aware, because he adapted his pathing to path from Raptors into his bot side. That may have been his game plan right from the start, to a Raptors into bot side path, but in my head, he wanted a clear topside into bot, which is exactly what Skeanz expected to. So he's thinking, I'm safe. Rhilech has no information. There's no reason why he would know any of this. As far as we could tell, they weren't spotted out at all.
Yeah.
And so then he Well, so this is interesting, this quote, specifically because his brain is massive.
That was
right
a
now.
brain move right there. That was instinct. He just knew. Okay, we have a one going in the mid lane as Leader's jumping in on the Poby and finds it! Mortal Steel for first blood.
That had to have been a crit, right? There's no way Poby, like, Poby, he did not expect that damage to come through from the Q. The exhaust doing some work there. God, okay, so there's so much to talk about here in this early game because the invade from Skeanz ends up not doing anything. It does split the map in half, isolating Parus and Samdi, which is ultimately what SK wanted, but in an ideal world, they put Rhilech behind. That they didn't succeed on. Rhilech is actually in a very comfortable spot right now. Samdi
as already the ghost popped here. We see Jopa looking for a lot of damage on Parus and Samdi. Stun lands from Mikyx, and Jopa not having enough damage to kill Parus, but sending a message in the bot side. Yeah, Betty, I feel like you're going to struggle to get a lot of this analysis out. These teams are here to scrap.
Yeah, I mean, the analyst desk can take their time breaking all of it down. Just understand, the viewers at home, there was a lot of cool sequences that happened in the early game. A nice punish from Navi, but the thing is, this should have been very Navi favored in the early game, but this was all changed now because Leader finds a solo kill.
Exactly. After flashing. Like, he early flash, the Vibe coming in, was still able to find it.
Because him losing flash was one of the biggest problems of that situation. Now they're going for another play in mid. The wave is in a bad spot for Poby, but he smartly hugs the bot side of the river, so because he's expecting the jungler to be on the top side of the rift. So good adaptation there from Poby.
And he's going for more right now. Poby is in some trouble as Leader has the minions to bounce around, using them to great effect here.
Skeanz is really committed to stealing as many camps as he can. But you can see camp clear-wise, he is quite behind that of Rhilech right now. Rhilech already on a fast track to level 6. He's level 5, bro. He's got a full level advantage over his jungle opponent. But it's SK with the gold lead. So really cool stuff happening in this early game. And the problem that Skeanz is going to run into is Vi is just going to be more accelerated. So Rhilech is just going to have way more options in the early game to actually do stuff. And I promise you, he's going mid.
I'm imagining, as he's currently hovering there with the help of Parus. Anytime I see a Nami in mid lane, I expect just the 1W walk away, but maybe that's there to back up Rhilech as he's actually invading deep into Skeanz, who's on the gromp right now, and that's just immediate Vault Breaker in. Rhilech says, this is my jungle. You had your fun with that invade, and from now on, it looks like I will be controlling this game. Another one. Not able to land the damage this time around. Skeanz actually tries to trade right on back. He's got Leader coming in as backup. Poby's still pretty far away, so now it's Rhilech who's actually kind of alone. Ryze is level 6. The Realm Warp's going to come in. Vault Breaker back. Rhilech is just going to solo kill Skeanz. No, the knockup Leader had 6! And Wunder gets the kill coming in with the equalizer. Rhilech getting punished for the invade.
Wow, so Rhilech just overstayed. He could have just taken the gromp and then peaced out. That should have been more than enough, but instead he got way too overconfident and he ended up being punished for it.
Yeah.
Nice roam from Poby, thinking that he can use his ultimate to collapse quicker, but Skeanz was like, if I can just get the knockup off, my Yasuo can come in, ulti in, turn the tides of the fight. The Rumble also came down as well. So in a situation like this, normally mid and top would have lost some farm, lost some experience as a result, but because Wunder gets the kill, he's not too upset about it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Leader's able to catch that whole wave. So SK in a really good position here in the early game.
Fantastic start for SK. This is what they wanted, and I gotta say, off of another unique pick from Leader, as some trading in the bottom side in the 2v2 yet again here. Looks like Parus is just going to back off. So I want to make a point here because this was something that we talked about yesterday. Leader's champ pool did not reflect what we expected. Actually, we might have to get back to that because there's another invade happening on our screen. Skeanz on the blue buff yet again. Leader helping him out this time. They want Skeanz to hit level 6. Rhilech has the backup of Poby this time around, but now he's jumped on, he smites it away, hits level 6, has the cease and desist. Parus with the bubble. Flash forward from Mikyx to try and save his jungler, but it's not enough. Skeanz will go down, traded for Rhilech as now Leader is unleashed, chasing down Poby with the ghost. Sidestepping the Qs and is able to get some damage back onto him. So a 1-for-1 trade, both junglers go down.
Wow, so much fighting, and now it's the top laners.
All out from Maynter. Wunder doesn't have the equalizer from the earlier kill that he picked up, so he has to flash to safety.
Okay, so there's a lot of action happening on the Rift right now. Skeanz came into today and he said, I want to steal camps. And that has been his whole mantra. He has some bot prio, he thinks he can make this play, he's got his mid laner right by his side, and that wind wall placement was beautiful from Leader because it made it super difficult for Poby to actually contribute. The only reason Poby got involved in that play was because of a blast cone. So, NAVI, they are skirmishing back. Oh, Rhilech
We got another invade happening.
What? It's my turn.
So Skeanz was on a control ward, didn't realize it. Now we'll clear that out, but in comes the Vault Breaker. Rhilech is ready for it yet again. Has Parus behind him. The roaming Nami. Skeanz no flash, still level 5. As he will die to Rhilech in his own jungle. This is bullying, Vedius.
This feels personal.
Yeah.
Both junglers are committed to death. They have set their sights on arguing that the enemy camps do in fact belong to them. And the other one says, "Nah, I'm coming for yours."
They should just handshake, just swap jungles at this point.
No. They got a fist fight for every single one. But it all comes back to that early game where Skeanz level 5 versus Rhilech level 6. He ends up stealing his own blue buff away. He does die. It's Leader that gets that kill, which is still an advantage for SK, given how strong Leader is now in the 1v1. Like, he's not afraid to go for this scrap at all. But Skeanz is just falling further and further behind. Level 7 now ticked over for Rhilech, and he has his whole top side to clear still.
2 levels up on Skeanz, who's now on the bottom side. Hits level 6 right there off of that buff, and is straight onto the dragon. So this is actually nice. He's got the push from his bot side and his mid lane. SK will get the first neutral objective of the game. Even though Skeanz is falling behind in his own individual clear, he's still focused on the team play and playing around what his lanes are able to help him out with.
Yeah, it's a good call just because he has awareness that Vi's likely on the top side, given that he did steal away his blue, stole away his Gromp. He's likely just going to path back in that direction. So he's relatively safe, especially with the prio that he has in both bot and mid. And remember, we talked about how that mid prio is going to be super important in this game. Well, because of the lead that Leader has now built up for himself, the fact that he's got the Vamp Scepter to get that extra bit of sustain in the laning phase as well, he should now be able to consistently contest that wave. And you can see he's continuing to build up a healthy lead. How many plates has he actually secured? Looks like only 1 for now.
Yeah.
But information garnered. They can see all the camps that have been cleared. They realize that Vi is very likely on the bot side of the Rift.
So far ahead, just in the individual clear department. Vi versus Zinja, this is not what you expect, but it just goes back to that initial invade. Skeanz not getting enough done. And now it's going to be the rest of the game pretty much a story of how can he try and equalize. So far his team and the solo laners in particular are helping a lot with that. Leader did not have a great series yesterday, if we're being totally honest about it. Wunder also was struggling a bit, but so far early on here, these are the rocks for SK. They're the ones that are actually giving them not really a gold lead. I mean, it's basically Leader kind of holding on to that right now as he is the target as well. Rhilech coming in. That's another flash from Leader. Very preemptive with those to make sure that he's not giving any chance for the opponents to actually get on top of him. As now we actually have another all-out in the top lane. Maynter fancies himself another 1v1. Wunder doesn't have flash, but this time is able to just walk away.
Quite a commitment there from Maynter. Remember, Yasuo has no flash. Vi's in the...
Ooh. And now this time around, no flash. They're just going to pull the trigger. Great wind wall to block Poby. No follow-up damage. So it was only Rhilech under turret. Leader's playing so much better. This is actually incredible Yasuo gameplay that we're seeing on our screens right now.
I mean, it's just one of his comfort picks. We talked a lot about it in the draft. We identified, like, it's one of his most played in his career. And the placement of the wind wall, again, just beautifully done. Skeanz now uses this opportunity to go and grab himself the grubs. But also, like, everything's going kind of the way we expected. Remember earlier we said Rhilech, when he has that ulti, he wants to invest it into mid because this mid prio is so important. But they get the flash out from Leader. He has to play respectful, but now he doesn't as much. Because with the Vi ultimate gone, Leader can play with just as much confidence as he's been playing with, as the grubs are now secured, and early objectives go in the way of SK.
And I mean, at the top of the day, the analysts were talking about it. They said Leader was the wild card of this team, and I think he's living up to that right now. He had the Zed pull out yesterday, he had the Orianna game, and now on the comfort pick in the Yasuo, he has a chance to carry. But Wunder is currently the target here. Rhilech is hovering on the top side. Does not have cease and desist, but does have ball blanker and flash, and finds it. Flash response from Wunder, so that is just a trade of summoner spells, but Wunder's gonna have to take a reset now.
Well, Wunder, yeah, he doesn't have his ultimate. They're trying to interrupt it. They're stacking him the wave under the tower.
Oh, he just walks up and smites Wunder's back is canceled. Maynter's pushing the wave in, and that means Wunder's in the danger zone. It's going to be Maynter that tanks it up first, and Rhilech with the kill.
Yeah, so not much that he could have done there, really. I guess you could have argued that he shouldn't have based underneath this tower. He was not expecting Rhilech to be as bloodthirsty as he was. But again, we've seen this so many times from NAVI now, where like when they can't really do anything on the Rift, what do? Gank top. It's like
this is the default, isn't it?
What do we do? What do we do? Oh, we can gank top. It's all good. And it works. Hey, they did it against Mirwin. They're doing it again against SK. They've now actually gotten themselves onto the gold lead. Not that it matters a huge amount. Skeanz, though, no surprise, back in the enemy jungle. He has prior bots. But this time, Navi's here to respond. It looks like SK's not going to get much off the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of moments where we weren't invading. And now we are right back to the story of the game being the jungle invades. Not going to work this time as the Enchanted Crystal arrow goes up.
Close.
Not going to land on anybody.
Very, very close, though.
Great defensive jungling here from Navi. It's not just Rhilech who's kind of sensing out anytime Skeanz is there. It's also the rest of the team now adapting. Poby, this is now twice he's left lane to kind of help out, push away the invade. His bot lane was there to help him out now too. So, yeah, I mean, we don't hear the comms, but I imagine this is a team effort here to kind of control Skeanz' invades and stop this. Because we did hear from production earlier that they checked the tape. Rhilech, they didn't have vision. They didn't see Skeanz go for that invade earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to know what. Hopefully, we can get a sideline afterwards.
That'd be fantastic.
And ask Rhilech, like, how did he know? Because it really did shape the other game pretty in favor of Navi. Because imagine you're Rhilech, you move it. If you do a traditional path, walking your bot side, all of it's gone. You're now like, oh, do I cross map? Like because the map will then be split. Bot becomes easy access. But the swap's coming through mid the target.
And now Samdi jumping onto Jopa. Damage in there initially, and Skeanz. Getting flash and heal out from Navi's bot lane.
Yeah, so that did not go the way that they wanted that to go at all. Parus used the bubble onto Samdi to give him bonus movement speed, but then he doesn't have the bubble. Yeah. So Jopa then just says, yeah, okay, let's fall, bro. But that's going to be an easy dragon. I mean, no summoners. The Rumbles also come down. Wunder's a little bit paranoid about another dive on the top side.
And SK might still just look for it. Ooh, Encore goes a little wide. Same with the Equalizer. Good side steps from Parus and Samdi, so 2 ultimates used. It's a dragon traded essentially for the top lane because SK sent all 5 members as leader in a 1v1. Again, the exhaust goes down. Landing those Qs onto Poby, but not going to find the kill. Now in comes Rhilech. No flash available on leader. Cease and desist for the lockdown. He's trying to dance around to not give Poby the kill. The Enchanted Crystal arrow almost there in time, but it's Rhilech with another kill. Oh, in comes Skeanz. So Poby was taking damage from the minions the entire time. He's got the Realm Warp, and Rhilech backs up his mid laner, giving him the escape option. Skeanz getting damage down, but a TP defensively will mean Skeanz backs off. NAVI defend the play.
I mean, yeah, well played by NAVI. They successfully shut down leader on a side lane who was looking very scary. With the Blade of the Ruin King completed, he is comfortably winning out on that 1v1. There's little that Poby can do against it other than run away. Thanks to the phase rush, he does have that additional movement speed, which leader has to respect. And you can see that leader, he was fishing for a knockup. He was fishing for the outplay, but the tornado times out right at the end of this play. And you'll see he stacks it up, he stacks it up. The damage looks good, but then the phase rush gets procced. He's got to disengage. And now he's the tornado because he kind of has to. It's about to wear off. And he's thinking, if I can just get a 3rd stack, get the knockup, oh, go back to live.
Now he's got the backup of the team here. It's everybody onto Maynter. He had already used the flash earlier. There's all out. He's trying to get some damage onto the wave because that's all he can focus on right now. 3 members around him. He's taking his time to go down. Leader actually gets chugged. Shut down gold over to Skeanz.
I'm kind of surprised that leader held onto his ult for so long. The problem with this play is it's a lot of resources committed to a side lane with Herald up, with top tower exposed, with basically all options available to NAVI. So they push in mid, they push through top, they get the tower. Like, that death really is inconsequential to NAVI. I would say the only misplay was Maynter used his flash, but if he thought that he could get a kill in that situation, then like, hey, why not? But yeah, Herald secured. That mid tower is now very exposed. Very easy objective for NAVI to play for with the next dragon spawning in about 2.5 minutes. Like, yeah, NAVI in a very comfortable spot.
Yeah, I feel like NAVI still have enough control of this game. It's only leader that's the problem. He's the one with the gold lead for SK's side. So when you look at the overall gold lead, it's 1.4K for NAVI, but when 1.3 of that is on your Vi, and then also your bot lane is ahead, especially in the Core Keeper versus Ashe matchup, I just favor the Core Keeper the raw damage output anyway when it comes to these team fights. I feel like they're going to be just fine. SK is ahead in the Dragon department, though. So if they can keep stacking these up, Mountain Soul, not traditionally considered one of like the biggest win conditions in the game, but it still feels nice to have, especially when you don't have this kind of dedicated front line. Just makes everybody a little beefier as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands, stun onto Parus, followed up with the Charm, and that is a kill for Jopa.
Yeah, easy pick. I'm noticing the Wunder keeps grouping up with the team, does leave top exposed, but I guess he's really paranoid about a collapse on side lane. He now has to go and answer that wave as
Skeanz actually takes the Audacious Charge onto Poby right there. Nobody else was behind him.
They're opening up bot, basically. They're making sure the bot can be secured. But yeah, this is a good Herald response from Navi. Should be a trade of towers, with Navi ultimately still being an objective up.
And they're still able to maintain that gold advantage as well. It's shrinking slightly, but still, it's something for Navi right now as they'll ride the Herald now towards the bottom turret. And they're also looking at Leader here as Poby comes in. That's a wind wall early, and the Herald for the knock-up. Leader getting CC'd to death. Rhilech with the kill. That was pretty creative use of the Herald right there. Very efficient.
It absolutely was, because it completely cut off the escape from Leader, who had pushed an extra wave onto that bot side of the rift, and he ends up getting punished for it. This does open up Wunder to start actually hitting away on that top tower, but he can't hit it for very long as the resets have come through, and Navi is looking to get back out onto the map. So Navi continuing to find advantages off of every single play that SK is making. But this next Dragon, you highlighted earlier, is going to be a big point of contention. Both teams will want to grab that. SK to put themselves on Soul Point, but Navi to slow the acceleration of SK.
Exactly. If Navi can pick this up, it's going to buy them a lot more time in this game. And when you have things like the Rise, things like the Cassante, you have decent scaling options for you. And then the Cassante back into the game as well. I mean, he was getting the camps early on, or rather the ganks early on. And Cassante, once you hit that 2-item spike, you're just unkillable, essentially. He's at that point right now. Wunder's still working towards that second item. And it doesn't seem currently like SK have the numbers around the Dragon Pit. It's spawning in 15 seconds. Wunder has TP. He's pushing this wave in, but he's going to have to get down there soon. Yeah, he channels the TP now, so preemptively trying to get down. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land onto Parus, plus the Encore. Chain CC, they got the Nami. SK find a pick right before the objective.
Perfect timing for SK. Poby, he doesn't have the Realm Warp. He can't really create a flank. Navi don't have the numbers to contest this. And so SK will put themselves on Soul Point. Even though Navi are finding overall map advantages, these Dragons belong to SK.
Yep.
And they're setting themselves up nicely for the Soul. 5 minutes away, Navi will have to gain back control over that neutral. But you're seeing just the strength of Ashe, Seraphine plus Rumble. Like, it's just, it's a scary combo just by itself. We'll look back at it. Samdi basically says, hey, I'm going to dodge this arrow. The flash is up from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Actually,
Parus's flash was up, I do believe.
Yeah,
in
it
that
does
moment.
look like it. It does look like it to me.
That's just unfortunate right there, because you know the AD carry is able to dodge it, but the support's not ready for it. No Mikyx either on Parus right now. I feel like that should be an item that's now on the mind of Parus to pick up. Make sure you're able to deny those arrows coming in, because Jopa, I mean, he's been finding a lot of these arrows now this game, and I got to talk about him a little bit.
I don't think you have time.
Oh, never mind. We have a fight breaking out here. We have a pick breaking out here as it's Poby all alone in the top river, right at the Baron pit. SK, they'll just take the gifted kill and start up the objective. Now Navi look to contest. It's going to be a 4v5 approach. As, big bear damage actually right there on the Jopa and Mikyx. Maynter's going to try and buy some space to walk in. It's all about Samdi getting the damage down. The Rockets go in. Rhilech diving onto the backline. Maynter as well. Samdi just peppering them down, but they already got Rhilech. The jungler's out of there as Maynter can't get the kill on the Jopa. Ashe kites back. Samdi's got Skeanz right on top of him. Wunder roasting him down as well. Flash over the wall so Skeanz can finish it off as Parus flashes to safety. They deny the Baron, but SK get a lot more kills.
A monstrous fight going the way of SK. You're right, they don't get the Baron, but they'll be happy with that fight. Securing the top tower as well. They keep finding these picks. They start this Baron off knowing that they have the numbers advantage. Rhilech does about everything that he could do here. Gets a flash out from Mikyx, ulties onto Jopa, but the follow-up just can't quite come through. That Rumble ult placement makes it impossible for Samdi to really get involved in the fight. He commits his flash to sidestep the knock-up that's coming through from the Tornado. mechanically, very well played from the side of SK.
Very impressive. When you see 4 health bars at about 100 health left afterwards, that just means that they juggled it perfectly. They're back onto the Baron as we come back to live. NAVI will have to find another approach, but Samdi's coming out from base. Maynter's coming out from base. They do not have teleports to get in here. Maybe Rhilech can look for a steal. He has the Vault Breaker channeling it right now, but SK just stopped damage on the Baron. They jump over the wall instead. They got Poby, and now they're looking at Samdi. Leader's on top of him. Jumps back to safety. Skeanz in some trouble here. Knock up onto a Leader, but Skeanz is just fine. It's just Maynter getting damage on him right now. Samdi's been completely pushed out from the fight. SK yet again peel off the objective and instead will take the fight.
I really love the way SK has been playing these fights. Just, they don't waste any time. When they see a target, they throw the Ash Arrow out and they're quick to follow. They convert these fights into huge team fight wins. They're going to get themselves the Baron. A day difference, but SK look completely different in this game 1.
Night and day. You know, sometimes a good night's sleep's all you need. Let's take another look at the replay here because Poby's just instantly deleted.
I mean, beautiful combo. The wind wall placed as well, making it very awkward for both Parus and Rhilech to get involved in the fight. Maynter doing what he can to try and tank things up, but he is not tanky enough. That NAVI ult wave hit 4 people, but it just didn't matter. Samdi is too afraid to approach. And this con from SK is very much just go forward, and they're making it work beautifully.
Yeah, Samdi was not able to get damage down in that fight, despite being up a little bit of gold going into it. Now Jopa firmly in control. And I gotta agree with some of these comments. They're looking a little disjointed right now. Like, that was such a beautiful tidal wave from Parus. You feel like that should be able to turn a play, but didn't in the moment. SK with the Baron buff will start taking down these turrets. That's the outer turret in the mid lane. They're gonna reposition now to catch this bot wave as it's shoving in, go for a little invade as well. So some wasted time here with the Baron, but still overall they're getting that first turret, which is the first step, now with a 2.7k gold lead.
You mentioned it earlier, but Jopa, I think he's been so important in this game. Those Ash Arrows have been pivotal in putting SK in a good spot.
Someone comes in. Rhilech finds Skeanz, immediate Ash Arrow onto Poby, as now everybody's committing onto the Zinjao. He's got the Crescent Guard. Can't get damage through there, and the Equalizer just roasted all the members of NAVI. They could not follow up Rhilech. Nobody dies on either side, but wow, that was a very efficient Equalizer.
It was party time on the Coles, okay? Yep. That ulti from the Seraphine combined with the ulti from the Rumble was enough to dissuade NAVI from being able to follow up. They took so much damage on the backline, and this should be an uncontested dragon. I mean, NAVI's going to do their best to get back into position to challenge, but it's SK with full control.
SK have the vision control. Their dragon has spawned. If they get this, it is Soul. NAVI want to deny that.
Oh, look at Jopa.
Maynter trying to buy some space. Jopa's getting the damage down. Oh, focus fire onto Maynter. Big damage onto the Cassandra. He's just trying to walk forward, but he's just so slow the entire time. The health bars are just getting chunked on NAVI's side before the fight even kicks off. As now Rhilech is looking for a flank over the wall, maybe for the steal. He has the Vault Breaker charge, but SK again just stop hitting the dragon. Rhilech is gonna have to take the Blast Cone instead. Maynter gets into the pit. Now Rhilech goes in. Skeanz the target as Cassandra gets auto. It's stolen! Rhilech denies the dragon's soul, but SK already took down Maynter, so they can look for the fight afterwards. And flash over the tidal wave from Skeanz. The arrow lands. Parus falls. Jopa unstoppable. SK don't need the Dragon's Soul. They still have the Baron. They can just push this wave in.
The thing is, this Baron is about to wear off. They need to push as much as they can off the back of this play. But I don't know how much they can realistically get. NAVI did a good job of pushing out the side waves, and you can see Poby already pushing down that bot wave. SK wanted to use this Baron to actually secure the Dragon, and I think the reason why they fumbled was not using the Baron to really actually get better control on sides.
Sure.
Because you can see on the minimap, like, the waves aren't already pushed in that deep. NAVI's been allowed to approach this Dragon, and they're in position to contest. Yes, the fight is always going to go the way of SK, but the steal comes through, and NAVI buys themselves a little bit more time. Like, good play ultimately from SK to find these picks, but like, NAVI, they'd already committed to the suicide mission in order to steal that dragon away, so the fact that it was a one fight for SK, I think SK were just too eager to secure this dragon when they had Baron. They could have just been using it to create this pressure, create this field of darkness around the bot side of the Rift that Na'Vi then feels super uncomfortable about approaching, and you make them lose the fight before they even get a chance to approach the Dragon. Especially with the lead that SK had built, I think that would have made it much harder for Na'Vi to contest rather than just basically allowing Na'Vi a 50-50.
The only counterpoint I can think is that SK's composition doesn't have a lot of hard engage, so if you're able to get to the Dragon first, make them come into you, that's kind of where your comfort zone is. You have the Encore.
Well, you say that.
You have the Crescent Guard.
But imagine Na'Vi has to face check into Ashe, Seraphine, Rumble, which is what happened in the previous fight, right? They almost want to fight exclusively just them trying to approach that objective. So, I mean, Jopa's arrows have been fantastic. I think he's going to find another one.
He's looking for it right here under Rhilech, followed up. Chain CC for days, as Rhilech will get the cease and desist off, but Jopa with a 6th kill. 6-0-5 for the young AD carry, and SK with that one pick here. They have pushed bot side, they're pushing everybody mid, and Navi's gonna have to try and defend here at the inhibitor turret. Maynter slowed down, but I think he should be fine. He's a tanky K'Sante, walks back to safety, and SK actually don't have a wave right there, so they're gonna have to back off right now.
Yeah, the awkward thing for SK keeps being they just don't have control over their side waves. So they keep getting these picks, they'll push down mids, but then there won't be anything they can do about it because Rise is somewhere else pushing another wave. Rumble did finally go and catch that bot wave and start to push it out, but now Poby's here to go and out.
But Poby was top when he did that, so now the
so
top's pushing out. So yeah, Poby has actually been making this a headache for SK. And that's kind of what the Rise does in the late game. You're a fantastic side laner. You can always use the Realm Warp to get to safety.
He's helping Na'Vi stall, which is ultimately what Na'Vi need. They need opportunities to get later into the game, and whether they outscale or not, they just need time. It's kind of their best option right now.
And it's so hard to actually get on top of him. We see SK looking to collapse, but in a flash forward from Wunder, flash response from Poby. As now the Enchanted Crystal Arrow will go out, sidestep, not gonna land. When becomes Lightning does not land either, so Poby does get to safety. SK just sent 5 members down there and don't find the pick.
And what's happening on the Rift right now? It's push, push.
Top push. Yeah.
Na'Vi just keeps clearing out these waves every time SK try to make a play, and yeah, SK really can't accelerate their lead anymore. Baron is now available. They need to be cautious about that area of the map.
That is Ashe leading the damage charts right now. That's actually a little surprising to me. But has been doing a lot of damage, especially setting up a lot of these fights. Now we have another one potentially right here as Wunder's frontlining for SK, walking up into the brush. Maynter clears out the vision. Na'Vi have Rhilech on a flank, not spotted right now. Leader's hovering around there, and we'll now see Rhilech, who ball breakers back to safety. Baron is always on the table if either team's able to pick it up, but now it's actually Na'Vi in an awkward spot because their bot lane's pushed in. SK has an advantageous position because they don't need to go bot lane. That's in a fantastic spot for them. They can just set up their control around Baron.
The worst thing that SK could do is flip the Baron. They don't have TP available, which makes things awkward for them, but neither does Na'Vi. So they need to fight for midway, but I feel like they should send someone top, but I guess they're arguing that we need to have numbers here to be able to even contest this wave.
I mean, Navi's just sacking this bot wave over and over. That's now 3 waves that have crashed in, and they're just not sending anybody down there. Instead, they're just keeping members in the mid lane, I suppose, to make sure that the Baron can't be taken. They want to maintain control here. It's fun. I mean, we were just saying how well Poby was doing in the side lane, but this is like a 4th wave going down into that bot side. They just haven't sent anybody down there, and now they've lost
It's because of the lack of TP. If someone shows up bot, then it's awkward. So SK pushing that bot wave was a smart thing to do. That top wave is now still pushing as well. SK are kind of gaining advantages.
Onto Skeanz, he still has the Crescent Guard available. Encore will only land onto 1. It's Maynter the front line, but he has to flash to safety because he was getting heavily chunked down. Windwall will buy space for SK, but in goes Rhilech. Skeanz in trouble, leader the target, he's shut down as the GA for Rhilech will keep him up. Poby dancing around Skeanz on the side here, but it's up to Jopa. It's up to the young AD carry. The Ashe is unleashed as he takes down 1, turns back on the Poby. The shield goes up, but he goes down. Wunder on a rampage. SK win another team fight.
Jopa's positioning continues to be so important in these fights. The way that he's able to consistently deal out the damage, the way that he is largely untouched in these fights. Beautiful patience, beautiful positioning. SK able to win out once more. We look back and so it's Skeanz that gets rooted up. Maynter becomes the focus, which is not ideal. Leader hesitant to commit his ultimate here because he wants to save it for a better play, but he ends up then too deep because of the knockback. Rhilech sees his opening, shuts out Leader. Nice Rumble ultimate onto the back line, just removes Sam D from the fight, whereas Jopa, he's completely untouched. He knows what he...
barely done anything in these fights.
Yeah, it's become really difficult for him to approach. He's a little bit cautious of his range and how easy it is for SK to punish that. And so you're just, again, continuing to see the strength of Ashe Seraphine and how consistently in these team fights it's difficult to navigate around. And yeah, it's one of those situations where NAVI have played the map overall better. I think they have played a smarter game of League than SK have. But SK is just playing the team fights better. They just have a stronger team fight comp. They're mechanically outperforming NAVI in the 5v5. Wunder's ultimates have been fantastic. And then Jopa just continues to find these picks. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic. SK, but if they keep fumbling these...
I like flumbling, though.
Yeah, if they keep fumbling these map plays and like actually pushing the lead that they have, NAVI might eventually win a fight.
It's going to be harder with the Dragon Soul. After SK got the 2 kills, they didn't go for the Baron. Ancient Crystal Arrow misses onto Samdi. Nice side step there. SK, instead of going for the Baron, they just took the Dragon Soul. It's a much safer objective, so they have the shield now, they have the extra resistances, and now they will start up the Baron. The bottom turret will fall just to the wave as NAVI again look to approach the Baron pit. It's getting roasted so fast. Rhilech cannot get in there. That is the objective secure. It is now, do they want to go for the team fight? They have the death ball composition set up. The arrow's down. Jopa's been the one to kind of set up the fights every time, and they don't have that available. So instead, Skeanz is just going to go in with the 3rd knock-up, as well as the Encore again, only onto Maynter. The Kasante's taking up a lot of damage, a lot of cooldown. Does he pull Skeanz back over to Poby? But Skeanz is just fine for right now. Again, it's Jopa show, goes legendary, and they stop the Realm Warp from Poby. Leader getting the kill, 19-7, plus the Dragon Soul, plus the Baron. SK look for their victory march.
In the awkward river standoff, SK finally find an engage that works out for them. They get 2 picks, they've got the Baron, they've got the Soul. This should be enough to close this game out.
And Jopa is about to end this game deathless. 8-0-7 on the Ashe, finding pick after pick after pick, and team fighting immaculately. SK, the difference from yesterday to today is quite stark, and it's looking good. They'll take down Samdi under the turret. Jopa will flash forward for more KDA, but either way, SK will take game 1. Either way, we do know what happened in that last game, and it was SK coming back in a big way. They did not look nearly as solid, nearly as cohesive in their first series. They were able to pick up a win, yes, but then their losses looked very messy. This is a well-oiled looking machine here. They just deathballed. I mean, we heard the analysts talking about it. They were losing some of the side lane pushes, but with Jopa leading the charge with the arrows, they were able to find a lot of picks and a lot of opportunities to just win these team fights, stack the dragons, and played it out cleanly from there. Now, V are going to have to find a way to either deny that type of composition again or win through different means. Either way, we do see a couple bans come through here. And first pick, Nico for SK.
So, the man behind the mystery, the voice in our heads that you guys at home don't hear, did remind us that Varus was the last ban that we've forgotten.
Okay.
And it was open, and so I was looking like, is it a Varus first pick? But SK saying, no, we want the Nico instead. Now, the problem for NAVI is they kind of have to lock in Parus now, because number one, if you don't, you're now playing into Varus Nico, which is
sounds kind of terrifying.
In the dictionary, under no fun, I would say that these two champions would be there. But
a Nocturne on top
but
of that,
if they do lock it in, like SK is prepared for it because they first picked the Nico, right? But of course, there is the possibility as well that this Nico is mid lane. Leader has played this mid quite a few times before, and there's always the possibility that they can flex it. We don't see it flexed very often, but it's always worth considering. With the Aurora early lock-in, it seems like that the Bard responds. So I feel like by default, SK should now just slam that Varus, and then probably get a jungle to pair alongside it.
I mean, like, Varus Nocturne is where my mind goes. You don't get the Orianna combo, but Nico Nocturne is also a strong combo. You turn the lights off, it's much easier for Nico to get in there, and then also easier for Varus to throw out those Chains of Corruptions, which will then most likely land on their target. So that's where my money's going to go, but it seems like they're hovering something different as it's Ezreal locked in.
Interesting. So we talked about Varus. They are arguing, hey, you want to play Ezreal. Ezreal Bard is a good combo because Bard can roam, leaving Ezreal isolated, so we'll take the Ezreal away from you. On top of that, now if they do pick Varus, which can be good into Ezreal, you're now playing Varus Bard. which
you don't like Varus Bard?
It doesn't. You don't get a lot of good peel. That's for sure.
True.
So they're going to have to go for something else. I think Sivir can be a pretty solid alternative. The problem with it is you're quite short range. And right now, Navi's composition is quite short range. Like Aurora, sometimes like I get asked this question about like, well, you say that she's short range, but what do you mean like that? It's so basically, in order for her to do her combo, she has to be within a radius with which the opponent can hit her as well.
Yep.
And so that's what I mean by short range. If your opponent can hit you while you're trying to hit them, that in my mind is relatively short range. In contrast to Ezreal, he doesn't need to be in hit distance to do his thing, right?
And Nico as well. I mean, other than the Pop Blossom where
yes.
you're going to kind of get close, but like everything else, you're going to be pretty far away.
Right, and so that's why when we say, like, you look at SK's side, Ezreal plus Nico, a lot of long-range poke, they can play out of your reach, and they can hit you while you can't really hit them. Sivir does have her Q, of course, and then there is the Aurora ultimate, which does, of course, have a very long range. But right now, I kind of like what SK have drafted. They've also taken away Rhilech's Ambessa from the jungle, which I think makes sense because that is where he'd love to go to lock down a champion like the Ezreal as well. My concern comes from how much... Are they taking too much away? Are they focusing too much on trying to deny what it is that the opponent wants to do? Because at a certain point, you need to figure out the goal of your composition, right?
Yeah.
And if you go too down this rabbit hole, it could just hurt your own draft.
I will say Jopa had a fantastic Ezreal game earlier on in this weekend.
Absolutely.
So I think that it isn't just taken away, it's also playing to what we have seen work for SK. So it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. A bit of top lane focus for this second round of bans. It's Renekton, Sion, and Gnar taken off the table with an Akali for good measure.
Okay, quite a few hovers from Navi. I think we can ignore most of them as they're just filtering through options available to them.
You don't think the Shaco is likely?
I don't think so. I don't even know if I've seen a Shaco in pro play before. Was it an IEM like 10 years ago? I want to say it was Kick.
I've seen it in Tier 2. I've seen a Shaco support. That was pretty cursed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be where I've seen it before. Okay, so Aatrox. Now, the engage from Navi is quite limited, which concerns me when you're playing against an Ezreal. I think that with Ezreal, you kind of need some form of hard lockdown. Of course, Vi's already taken out, with Pantheon also banned. The jungle options that they have are, well, they are limited, to be honest. I think the takeaway of the Ambessa was really smart from SK because that's exactly the type of direction that Rhilech would love to go.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be the Aatrox jungle, and then maybe like
that's what I mean. Yeah. But that's what I mean by like they just don't have enough lockdown for the amount of mobility that SK has right now, right? You've got Ambessa, Ahri, Ezreal. Like, that's dash on dash on dash, right? You know what I mean? Like, and so where does your hard CC come through from? Oh, and they're going to pivot and put the... Oh, I mean, of course, yeah, you can comfortably put the Wukong into jungle, and then you can put the Ambessa top.
Yeah. I will say Poppy goes pretty hard here. There's a lot of dashes that are going around. I mean, it's less like hard engage, because again, that doesn't fix the problem of like, how do we start the fight necessarily, but it would stop the Wukong, the Ahri, the Ambessa from getting onto your backline, give your Sivir a little more appealing options.
I really like what SK have drafted. They're thinking about a Jax, Zehen. I think both are fine into Ambessa. Okay, Maynter, we're really not escaping those tank allegations, are we?
Okay.
So this is a hard counter pick to Ambessa. Yeah. We've seen it brought out by Kana, I want to say, here in the LEC. He brought it out last split. And basically, you just, every time they trade, like the sustain from Rek'Sai just wins out.
Much.
Yeah. So they trade even on HP, Rek'Sai then heals.
Over in the LCS, we saw more like Volley Bear as the counter, but I guess it's the same concept.
Right.
Like when I think of that, I think of the, it's basically the same thing where you're just going to be able to do about the same damage, but you're healing back more than what they're going to be able to do.
And kind of as the laning phase goes on and Rek'Sai gets like shorter cooldowns, as the Ambessa does as well, you just kind of become more difficult to deal with. So it is a solid side lane answer, but that kind of whole engage is Sivir presses R, run at opponent. You do have the Bard ultimate, so maybe if you can like get some of the mobility used, then the Bard ultimate to connect. But again, like there's so much mobility. You know, it's going to be hard to lock someone down from SK, which I think is the hardest challenge.
Bard is my most played champion, and I gotta say, when I see an Ahri mid, I'm like, well, probably not gonna roam mid. When I see a Wukong jungle, I'm like, well, probably not gonna try and invade the jungle. And when I see an Ezreal bot, I'm like, I don't know what my job is anymore. I guess it's ult my team when they engage on us.
Fortunately for Navi, it's not like their comp is unplayable, right? Like, they've got options, there's plenty of room for outplay, and if all things... if worst comes to worst, you press R on Sivir and you run at them at a dragon, right? Like, so I am just highlighting...
Sometimes the simplest plans are the best.
Sometimes. And that might just be enough. You know, I'm going through all these reasons why, like, on paper, all this mobility for SK should be difficult to deal with. But NAVI do still have really good damage with the Sivir. Poby can potentially one-shot anyone on the enemy side. And so there's a lot of threat. And, of course, Rhilech on Aatrox, he's just good at it, right? He's just really good.
Ooh, good early chunk there from Parus
nice.
and Samdi onto Mikyx. Winning that 2v2 at level 1 already. The Electrocute Bard, man, I love this build. Super fun. I want to highlight something, though, that we had been talking about before going into this series, and that was the experience differential between these two teams, because both of them have a lot of games played, but on different sides of the rift. When we look at that bot lane, Jopa only having 14 competitive games. This is going into the series, so I guess add 1 to all of these from that last game. But still, you see that Samdi, Parus, having a lot of experience, but Mikyx really kind of carrying the weight of the game experience here for Jopa.
Yeah, I mean, you can see teams that have played on G2 versus teams that haven't played on G2.
True.
But also Samdi, like, people often think of him as a rookie, but he's not by any means. Like, he's played on a bunch of different teams. I think Rob was also telling me he was on the V5 roster that also came super close to qualifying for Worlds a few years ago. Root connects.
Nice. Tangle Barbs onto Parus as Jopa will jump in for more damage. Parus will take the Wayfarer's Shrine to heal himself back up and try and just keep sustaining his Bard.
But the greater point that you were making is that Jopa is just kind of... He's just a baby in this context, right? Yeah. I mean, he didn't qualify for playoffs, which is kind of the advantage that both Rhilech and Maynter did get in the previous split. But yeah, I think he was a promising rookie last split. I like what we're seeing from him this split. And he's an exciting player to watch on what is effectively a roster of veterans or players that have kind of been, I would confidently say, looked over in the past. Like, Skeanz has been given opportunities before, and he didn't deliver. Whether that was a team environment or him as a player is always tough to judge. But Leader also been given many opportunities, and many didn't want to give him another chance after what he's shown on the LEC stage. It's really Mikyx that's believed in this project, really wanted to play with players that he believed in and he got along with, and he wanted to create an environment that was, like, comfortable to play in. Yeah. Like, it's easy to forget how challenging it is to spend an entire year with the same group of people, where often it can feel like you get no break from one another. And he wanted to be in an environment where he was happy and enjoyed the time that he spent with these people.
It's also a stressful environment, you know, very competitive, as right now Stress is under the bottom turret here as the dive is coming through. Rhilech lands a knock-up onto Jopa. First blood to Samdi, traded right on back, and now Rhilech will start taking it up. Actually, no, it's Samdi that was taking it up, and that's going to be a double kill to Jopa. Ooh, Navi, not quite the dive they were looking for.
And Jopa has DP, so he just comes straight back to lane. The goal difference hasn't changed between the bot laners.
Yeah.
It's only Rhilech that gains the gold advantage just because of that first kill that he gets. Now,
Skeanz going to stop the back, though, so Rhilech going to have to jump back over towards his side as another scrap up in the top side here. Maynter's heavily winning this 1v1 right now, but Wunder will not have to flash away. Stays in range to get level 5 right there. But yeah, that again, when you go for those types of dives. Oh, that is a minion for Mikyx. Flash out from Poby. Sees it come in time to at least not die.
Sneaky, sneaky. Nice play there by Mikyx. We look back at the dive. Ultimately, really well-executed dive. Parus willing to give his life up for the AD carry. Mikyx wisely doesn't get one more auto so that both AD carries get the kill. And then Rhilech thinks he gets tower aggro, but it's Samdi that actually ends up sneaking it away.
They even shocked me.
Oh. Okay, I got 2 kills.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes you just get 2 kills.
Yeah, it couldn't really have gone much better for him. So I think he should be pretty happy with the outcome of that. A little bit more trading here in the bot lane.
Yeah, as now Mikyx gets chunked out from Parus and Samdi, avoiding the Tangle Barbs that time around. And coming out of that, the dive bot side, I like that Mikyx immediately went mid, gets flash out of Poby, so it's 2 kills onto Jopa, and now a Summoner Spell advantage in the mid lane as well. So Skeanz has options, because there's no flash on the bottom half of the map. Skeanz is going to be hitting level 6 here within the minute, and he can actually start to look to make some action happen.
Wukong ideally wants to just get to that level 6, similar to what we see from the Nocturne is one I often compare him to, paired alongside Ahri as well. I mean, back in 2023 is where I felt like we had the most prominent Wukong meta.
Yeah.
Which was the Annie, Wukong, JDG. It was was a scary meta when the LPL were involved because of how
it always is.
Dominant. Well, no, that combo specifically, Annie plus Wukong, I felt like that they just ran it better than most of the regions did. And
oh, Jopa feeling very confident right there. Gets hit by the Cosmic Binding, but not tagged on the wall.
sometimes confidence can hurt.
Yeah. Quite literally in that instance.
Yep. Oh, Mikyx.
He's feeling the pain as that Cosmic Binding will land on the wall. Mikyx trying to run away, but is going to have to flash to escape the damage.
Cool mechanic there. Mikyx moved into Fog of War in the hopes of cancelling their auto attacks, but the ward was dropped by Parus, so he flash reacts to the ward being dropped, knowing that another auto attack could come through. So nice timing there. But with the pressure that's being generated in the bot lane by NAVI, Rhilech sees an opportunity to secure the dragon. Level 6 already secured for him. Similar spot for Skeanz, who I believe was able to get the second Scuttle Crab spawn on the top side of the rift. Leader is a little bit behind in XP, probably because of that roam that Mikyx did towards mid lane.
Yeah, soaking up some XP.
But ultimately not to... Oh, Mikyx looking for another play.
Yep. I mean, this time around, he should know. That is a very suspicious minion, and he's not able to dodge it. Still gets hit by the Tangle Barbs, plus the Charm. Parus is here to help keep him healthy. Throws down a W, but Poby... Oh, that was, yeah, he got pretty chunked there.
I mean, he's able to walk away with his life, is the good news for Poby. Parus here to protect. Timing was good. Poby, oh, throws the ulti.
Now he goes between worlds, jumping on the leader, gets flash out from Ahri. Leader very respectful.
Yeah, he's really cautious of the kill threat that Poby has in that situation. Wants to push out the wave and go back to base. Jungler's probably eyeing that mid lane up right now and realizes he can't overstay his welcome. Bot wave. I mean, I was expecting this to be a lot more favorable for the SK bot lane, but credit to Samdi and Parus. They've done a really good job of just winning out on the 2 versus 2. The push that they've been able to get has really allowed them to set up that early dive. And non-stop fighting as we get more.
And ooh, yeah, nice damage there onto Parus. Jopa fancying himself the wave advantage, so he's going forward onto Samdi. Almost gets the kill with the help of Mikyx.
I'm surprised Jopa didn't go for more there. I mean, I guess we'd be happy with the damage dealt.
Really scary in moments like this, though. You don't want to get baited to go forward. Rhilech is nearby, and Rhilech will not find an avenue to kill them in lane. Do they go for the dive? Somebody's going to throw out the Boomerang Blade to stop Mikyx's back, but he looks like Ezreal. Maybe they think that's the up, but nope, now they realize that is just Mikyx, and Rhilech goes under the turret, and the Tempered Fate onto the turret means that there's no damage response. Clean dive this time for Navi.
Yeah, the timing was nice, the execution was well done. Navi find themselves another pick, put themselves in a strong spot on the bot side of the rift. Skeanz yet to really get involved on the map here in the early game. Still waiting for him to look for an ult combo. That bot crab might be his opportunity. Rhilech, though, is going to respect it.
Yeah, you're too low health on the Aatrox. Your bot lane wants to go for a reset. And again, Jopa gets back to this lane very fast, so he's going to be able to shove this in. Samdi does not have the teleport, so it's still just a small gold lead for this bot lane. As Skeanz will now pick up that Scuttle Crab. Gold pretty much even across the board. It's just Rhilech with that advantage from that first blood, and now with a second successful dive. It seems like we learned where the Bard's going to put his attention, and it's instead of him roaming, it says, hey, come to my lane. I will set up the plays to get Rhilech fed.
Mikyx now very close to level 6. That's another thing that Navi will have to be worried about. Poby's already paranoid about the extra minions showing up as leader takes a nasty trade.
Yeah, Poby's actually getting big damage down between worlds. 2 full attacks not going to land as leader just spirit rushes back to safety.
Okay, so Poby really starting to fight back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Felt like he should be way more behind than he actually is. 87 CS to 88, still not too bad at all.
I mean, speaking of also not being as far behind as we expect, Wunder's doing just fine in this lane. For the counter pick Rek'Sai, he's down 1 wave. I mean, I would say that's a success for the Ambessa, all things considered. Went for the Executioners first, so you could argue like a little behind in build path, but it works in the 1v1, and it's also effective against the Aatrox.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's been helping him out. Skirmish against the Rek'Sai up in top lane. But I think the matchup's only going to get harder is the problem, especially as more HP starts to come through for Maynter, because he's soon just going to ignore the Ambessa. He's going to keep building HP. He's going to be able to trade against her pretty well, because it's super easy. against the champion that basically wants to come into you for you to build your Fury stacks and then just get the true damage. As ult's chucked onto leader.
Tempered Fate, no Spear Rush available, no Flash available. He throws out the Charm onto Poby, but with Rhilech there as well, there's just too much damage. Poby picks up the kill.
So we talked a lot in draft about how compositionally I felt like it was going to be hard for Na'Vi to really do much when it came to locking down these members of SK, but none of that will really matter if Na'Vi just wins the laning phase.
Yeah.
Which right now they're doing beautifully. Parus is working well with Rhilech to find ganks both in bot and now in mid. Rhilech 2-0-2 on the Aatrox. He's being set up to be this massive carry on the champion later on into the game. They've got a 1.4k gold lead. They currently control the dragons, and the timing is perfect. They've got a bot side clear into a dragon spawning in 15 seconds. The enemy mid laner is only just returning back as you've got a rocket belt on spot. Like, it just, everything is perfect for Na'Vi.
And leader still doesn't even have the Spirit Rush, so you're not even in danger of like Ahri finding some big play, big pick. Jopa's chunked down. Na'Vi could not draw it up better than this moment right here. They'll shove the bot wave in, and I imagine Rhilech will start up this dragon immediately. Skeanz is spotted, so they know that the Wukong's here. There's a chance for a steal. Leader is walking down. Poby will answer. As a TP in from Jopa, who does get the reset off. Trinity Force completed on the Ezreal. SK might have the confidence to actually go for the fight. True Shot Barrage will land only on the Poby, so some damage down. As Mikyx will check out the brush. They have the control ward there. Flash forward for Mikyx. Flash response from everybody on Navi as leader now goes in. Poby gets the kill on Mikyx, but it's traded right on back as a shutdown onto Rhilech. Skeanz diving deep onto Samdi, and he gets him! Double kill to the Wukong as Navi teleport Maynter for a double kill of their own.
Yeah, I mean, a 2-for-2, and because the junglers end up trading, Navi can't convert this into a dragon. Nice decisive play there from SK. Mikyx gets, I think it was 3 flashes. Yeah, he gets 3 flashes. I mean, obviously not connecting sucks for him, but the fact that he gets those 3 flashes out is still massive. Skeanz at the very end commits. Oh,
back to live though. Maynter actually caught Wunder here, who has to flash over the wall, but in comes the ulti. Maynter falls up and shows what this counter pick's capable of.
But I'm really shocked as to what Wunder's doing there. He had so much free time onto the top tower. For him to then die to Maynter after he TP'd bot?
Yeah, and I believe that Wunder had TP'd up to the top side. I noticed that his TP was on cooldown also once Maynter was already down there, I mean, so that's disastrous.
Wunder had to have been proxying. Like, that's the only real, it's the only real option that he's, okay, we just got told with the voices in our head he took a tower shot. So, I mean, Wunder, what are we doing, man? Like, what? Like, that is such a good opportunity for you when enemy top TPs to bots, and you have free access to tower plates, but you've got to respect the reset coming through.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, back at the dragon.
And now Rhilech back at focus in the mid lane. Tempered Fate lands here onto Mikyx, and he's out of there. Samdi with another kill. 2-2 and 4 now as Navi with the numbers advantage around the dragon. They could look to start it up here, but again, Skeanz is still here. Jopa's still getting some damage down, so Navi aren't confident enough to immediately go for the objective.
Yeah, I thought that they would just use that opportunity to just force the dragon, but as you said, it seems like they don't feel super confident about it.
After this wave, I imagine, somebody's going to push us out, and yeah, we actually see Skeanz going to the top camp. So, you know, good patience from Navi, all things considered. If they had gone for the dragon right away, they lose the mid control on that wave, so they just wait for it. Playing a more patient game as Between Worlds goes Poby, throws out the rocket belt. Leader's able to Spirit Rush back to safety. Parus, again, just getting chunked as he steps up to Jopa. Dragon is secured. Mikyx lands a Tangle Barbs. Some Blooming Burst damage onto Rhilech, but he gets out of there. Second Dragon to Navi.
Putting themselves in a good spot here in game 2.
Uh-oh. Maynter with another Umbro. Lands a knockup onto Wunder. Doesn't have the ult. It's 8 seconds cooldown. If he had that, that might have just been another solo kill.
But you're already seeing how much it sucks now.
Yep.
Yes.
I believe you,
Yeah,
Vedius.
it's Maynter really winning out. He's going to get a solo tower, the first one of the game. 420 gold into the pocket of this Rek'Sai. I don't think Rek'Sai has the easiest time against an Ezreal, but if he can tick him once, that ulti, the gap close is obviously going to be very valuable. As Rhilech is positioning here.
Yeah, unspotted. Now he sees Mikyx, gets straight in onto the Nico. Poby missing the twofold hex, but the flash from Rhilech will be enough. Poby on a rampage. Rhilech killing leader under turret, and Navi find 2.
Yeah, this game is snowballing out of control now. Navi continue to find picks. Skeanz, he had one nice play around the Dragon, but in contrast to the impact the Rhilech has had, he's basically been invisible. 3-1-5 the scoreline of this Aatrox right now. He's been making a bunch of ganks happen. It was really only that Dragon play where NAVI ended up falling short, but yeah, it feels like they control pretty much the entire map.
And now Maynter's looking for even more here. He's in a 1v2 with Skeanz and Wunder, but Parus in his back pocket will help him out. Warrior Trickster gets Skeanz to safety, and now Jopa's joined up as well. Tempered Fate defensively from Parus, but he's immediately cycloned on the way out. Skeanz picking up the kill.
Okay, so the game plan is becoming who makes less mistakes, because NAVI just sent 2 top to fight for a skirmish. I guess they were getting ready to set up for Herald, but they walk into the bot lane. They give over a kill, and now the question becomes, can Jopa carry from this position? It's kind of the player that we're watching as they're looking for another fight.
Yeah, Skeanz does not have the Cyclone this time around, so Rhilech feeling confident to walk in there.
So it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they lost their support, but they'll end up getting the Herald for it, which I think that's worth. I think NAVI should be pretty happy with that.
Hey, they got SamD's ult there, mid as well, so that's, you know.
Another small W for SK, that is true. But this game is looking rather bleak for them right now.
Poby, Rocket Belt, okay. Man, he's using that Rocket Belt on cooldown right now. He went to the school of Jojo Pion as a teleport in onto the bottom side here. That will be a flanking TP for Maynter. Rhilech is still pretty far away. So Wunder, I imagine, gets out of this predicament. That's a big wave as well that Maynter's given up for this play with Skeanz in the back pocket. It will get away.
All right, so just respect being shown there from both parties. Maynter establishing his authority, whereas Wunder respecting the possibility of a gank or even a follow-up and not willing to take that trade. Ultimately, though, it's NAVI that hold on to a small goal lead. Dragons are going to be their priority as the next one spawns in about 2 minutes' time. Both top and bot tower having been secured, make it much easier for NAVI to get that early push and then move into enemy jungle to fish for some deep wards. As you can see on the minimap, they're doing right now. They've got 1 ward on the red buff. They've got 1 ward just on the entrance towards that top side. And this should make it much easier for Poby to do what he's doing.
Oh, big damage onto leader, as he will just walk away. Doesn't have to use the Spear Rush or the Flash, so saving the cooldowns. But Poby is sending a message right now of how much stronger he is this time around. Jopa now has to Arcane Shift back. Cosmic Binding will not land, so Jopa is fine. But yeah, things are going very different in game number 2. Where to game number 1 as the Herald will crash into the mid turret and crack that. Navi's solo laners are very far ahead. Maynter is winning the 1v1, Poby's winning the 1v1, and that's allowing Rhilech to have a much stronger game as well. He was more focused on the bot side early on, but at this point, the entire map is open, and the team can start grouping up. So I gotta ask you, Betty, like, what are the options for SK? For this composition, when you're in this position, you're not winning the solo lanes. I don't even know if you win like a grouped up team fight. Like, what do you need to be looking for at this point?
Picks, mainly. You have to leverage leader's ability to catch targets off guard. Same thing for Wunder. They've got fantastic single target lockdown. But that does rely NAVI to overstay or be caught out on the side lane. Like right now, Poby's just sitting there on top side. That's the sort of thing you'd be fishing for. Like maybe while NAVI is setting up for the dragon, he oversteps, then you can find a pick, and then you can maybe trade it for a top tower or something. Because right now they've got nothing. Right, your best bet is to try and unlock some towers to get a little bit of that standing gold back into your pockets. But it looks like they're in a position to try and challenge this Drake. The problem is there is just a gold discrepancy. And so I do not know if they have wallets big enough to really fight this.
They're not going to find the pick, so maybe plan B is give Jopa a Red Bull and hope he carries. He's 3-1-1 on the Ezreal, trying to get some damage down on the Parus, but Maynter's looking at him as well. The Tempered Fate gets flash out of Jopa. Flash from Mikyx with Pop Blossom out of 3. Public Execution gets onto SamD. Mikyx's out of there. SamD's trying to get back as Rhilech will claim Mikyx's life. Jopa in trouble as Rhilech is on top of him as well. It's all about the Aatrox, baby! Double kill to Rhilech as he'll look for the 3rd out of Skeanz. Navi's jungler putting the team on his back and hard winning that team fight.
It looked like a pretty close fight up until it didn't. Rhilech stamping his authority in the fight as he wiped Jopa off the rift. And he turned it into a winning skirmish for NAVI. They'll secure their 3rd dragon of the game, and they're looking to bring us to a 3rd game.
Solid team fighting from Navi's jungler. That was about as good as it was going to look for SK. But still, everyone's focused on diving onto SamD, who gets out with the Bard Portal. Let's take another look at it. because Samdi actually gets to safety while Rhilech can just hit onto the back line.
Exactly, and you can see Maynter on the flank as well, trying to find an opportunity. Early flash from Jopa, good response from Mikyx. Maynter keeping the jungle mid combo busy, buying a lot of time, whereas Wunder is just deep and isolated. And what did that leave? Jopa, completely alone to have to try and deal with the raid boss of Rhilech. He says, nah, this time the raid boss wins. You're gonna have to reset, come back out onto the map, whereas I will take my loot, which is the dragon.
And yeah, they got Maynter, so that's one raid boss down. What about the second raid boss? Maybe the third. There's so many threats on Navi's composition. All 4 of these members between the Rek'Sai, the Aatrox, the Aurora, and the Sivir can just kind of take over a team fight if they get the right angle.
It's like in a game when the boss HP bar hits to 0.
And then a second HP bar.
No, and then the boss music doesn't stop.
You're like, wait a minute. Why am I not celebrating? I should hear the victory song right now.
What do you mean there's a cutscene? This is the good cutscene, right?
Why is the earth shaking and falling apart around me? And the platform raising into the air with an Aatrox lifting his sword.
Bro, I still think one of the hardest quotes in League is, "I'm not your enemy, I'm the enemy" from Aatrox. Ooh. It's so metal. It's so cool. And yeah, right now Rhilech is the enemy of SK. He is 5-1 and 5. He's quickly becoming synonymous with this champion.
Yep.
As he continues to just rule the Rift with an iron fist. Baron is available. I don't expect that to be started immediately. It's a risky objective to start this early on. Navi's best play is mainly just to play for Soul. SK's already behind. You have control over a lot of the map. There's no need to overcomplicate or overforce anything. Just buy time, farm, even be willing to cross map. Maybe you can trade like a tier 1 for a tier 2 down in the bottom side of the Rift, for example, something like that. Or they can just focus on protecting what they have.
They haven't dropped the turret yet. Bounties are up, so SK can get some more gold if they're able to get those, but they're just going to go for a play instead between worlds from Poby, as Parus has Tempered Fate available, but instead will Magical Journey out. Now throws out the Tempered Fate, not going to land onto anybody. Dodged by Mikyx and Leader, as all of SK is trying to get out of their Skeanz. Can't get over the wall, has to Cyclone. So ult down on the Wukong. Big cooldown for Navi, as they could look at the Baron.
So Navi did the opposite of what I said, which is they should consider just playing slow and safe and waiting for the next dragon. Instead they said, or we could fight to the death. Which,
that sounds more fun.
I mean, the fighting definitely looked good for them. They were able to get Leader's Flash, which, hey, I mean, better than nothing. They're not going to, nah, they're not going to. They're going to. They're just going to start.
Please, do you realize what's happened so far in this game?
They've ignored me. They've
ignored everything you've said, and they've just done what they feel like doing. Right now, they feel like going for the Baron. Skeanz able to sidestep a lot of that damage. Maynter gets a knock up in onto him. Poby dominating 6-0-2 as the jungler picked off from SK.
Why do I bother? Like, anything I say in a Navi game, the opposite happens.
Yeah, that looks great. I don't know. It's a good thing they didn't listen to what you were saying.
Navi, you should not give me €1,000,000. Like, you just shouldn't do that. Anyway, Baron going to be started off.
Wait, that's crazy. There's somebody who has a briefcase wearing a Navi jersey walking over to Vedius right now. What's in there? All right, well, Baron started up by Navi. Looks like they will get this one uncontested. No surprise. No jungler on SK means that they're just going to try and get the side waves in instead. Wunder already hitting that tier 2 bot side.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to game 3 based on how this game is playing out. SK has been very quiet in this game. It felt like that from start to finish, it has been simply run by Navi. They have been the one driving the game forward, and they have not really taken their foot off the pedal. Leader, he's doing what he can to get some plates back. We'll look back at this play. I mean, Skeanz cautious at the Baron being started. He saw the Baron being started. He fell for the trap that Navi had set up. He face checks, and then he ends up dying. And this is just another one of the problems with SK's composition, is that they don't have a champion that's going to start. Okay.
All right. And it sounds like we're back, everybody. Apologies for the delay right there. There were some technical issues that we had to sort out, but we are back.
Power outage happened somewhere.
Okay, I would reckon that that could be it. But we're back to about where we were when we left off, so let's just continue on with Navi looking to victory march their way forward. They have the Baron, and they're looking to siege.
So at home, you guys have not missed anything. We have brought the game back. The players on stage have continued their game. This didn't affect them in any way, shape, or form. But we are coming to you from when the pause happened. And so we're now seeing this alongside with you.
And as he's looking for the flank right now. Tempered Fate will land, but it's only onto the clone. And instead, Skeanz gets out of the back line looking for Samdi, throwing his body at it, and it's worth it. Leader also gets onto Samdi and shuts him down. Meanwhile, Mikyx peeling for him. Leader unleashed in the fight and defended by the team. SK actually made some magic happen right there. They might just get Maynter. He'll shut down Mikyx, but Leader with another one. And it's actually Wunder picking up that kill. Okay, well, we're back to live, and SK are mounting a comeback. Parus almost dying to the True Shot Barrage. Oh, Jopa wants even more. Oh, big chunk from Poby. The auto's not enough.
That was
Jopa barely limps away.
very, very, very close there for Jopa. But wow, SK, they're able to punish a dive from NAVI on the bot side, which means that now they've bought themselves a little bit more time, and the timing couldn't be better for them. Because Wukong is back alive, the dragon is up, there's no smite available right now, but Skeanz is on his way.
Yeah, so Poby's still here, still deathless, by the way, but I don't think he was able to get a purchase off there. No, he did, he TP'd back. Okay, so NAVI might still be able to turn this, but Wunder gets straight onto Parus, and Jopa's on him as well. Parus is down. So Poby has no backup, and that is Dragon to SK. Vedius, what a time for a pause to happen. SK just immediately roar back to life and are kind of back in this game.
So it's Skeanz that sees an opportunity onto Samd. As the dive comes through, the ulti from Poby doesn't really connect onto anyone. Samd then gets knocked up. He takes a ton of damage from Skeanz. And while Skeanz does lose his life, Leader then comes in from the flank, uses his mobility to get a pick. Then it's Rhilech that finds himself isolated against 4. He can't lock anyone down because of the mobility that we were talking about. Mikyx tries to play fake with the clone, but doesn't end up working out, but it still works out in the favor of SK as Wunder picks up another kill.
So now Navi's right back to this bottom turret. It's so low. Poby just one auto, will take it down. It's nice for SK to get the dragon. It's nice for them to get some shutdowns. It's still a 4,000 gold lead for NAVI overall. It is still, okay, sure, it's shrinking, but it's still an advantage specifically for Poby. This Aurora is about to become a monster once that Rabadon's death cap is finished, and we're right around the corner from that.
Yeah, I mean, the 10 stacks on the seal, still there. If he upgrades that to the Mejai's, then that could very well be scary.
But Leader did get a lot of assists and some kills, so 8 stacks on that Dark Seal. Like, Leader's back in this game with 3 items completed already.
Absolutely is. I mean, that's the thing. In terms of items, AD carries look very similar, mid laners look very similar. Of course, when that death cap comes in, it's going to be quite scary to have to deal with. But really, the only main advantage I see is in favor of Rhilech. And again, the key thing is that SK bought themselves a little bit more time. When you're this far behind, the best thing you can do is just stall the game out longer, because then gold matters less, right?
True.
Once these items are completed, having that gold advantage just doesn't mean anything. And it's when two compositions, like, when you argue like a composition snowballs better or something like this, then if you can level the playing field by equalizing yourselves in terms of items, then it's not going to be a problem. So that's what SK is playing for right now, playing for time.
Yeah, I will say, usually I don't hear colorcasters say, let the Sivir keep scaling.
Well, no, I mean, I would agree with you, but the key thing here comes back to range.
True,
right?
Yeah.
So how comfortably can Sivir actually play in this game?
And right now, it's really just the Mbessa and the Wukong you're hitting. But we saw what happened in the last fight. If Skeanz can get on top of Samd, you're in a lot of trouble as that Sivir. You get the one spell shield, and you have barrier as well to try and stay alive. So that's a great point, Vedi, that, you know, we think of Sivir as this, you know, if you get to that 6 items, you just clear waves with one auto and then win team fights. But it's going to be hard to actually get the ricochets because everyone's going to be spreading apart and also just diving on top of you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Sivir can hit, hurts.
Yeah.
But the question becomes, can she hit? Because we saw exactly in that bot lane fight what I was talking about when Rhilech, he's in the middle of 3, and everyone is just dancing around him, and he's just awkwardly kind of trying to get in range, but he can't actually hit anyone. So the mobility is SK's biggest compositional strength advantage that they have over NAVI, but the biggest problem they have is just gold. So there's the death cap finished in the mid lane for Poby. 3.5 items finished for Rhilech. They still hold on to that item lead, and that could very well be enough to be the difference maker between the outcome of an upcoming fight.
And we have Baron spawning here in 10 seconds time. Navi still can use the gold advantage while they have it to make sure that they can win team fights around these objectives. Use them as the magnet to pull SK in. But SK, I mean, Wunder's still focused on this bottom side. This is multiple times he's just pushed in this wave. Somebody from Navi is going to have to go answer that. Right now it's Parus heading down there. Okay, Maynter is actually heading down in that direction, has the TP available. That makes a lot of sense for the Rek'Sai. But this gives a small window where SK can now send Wunder up towards the rest of the team. and they can group up to try and get vision control around the Baron.
Okay, so, I mean, I wasn't expecting this game to be in this type of state. I really thought that...
I'm just pointing out, Wunder was spotted also by that ward, so they know that Wunder's there.
Okay, okay. Well, do you hear the boss music?
It did actually pop up in the game right there, yeah. Anytime the chorus comes in, the choir, you know, that's when you know you're in.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's gonna if they've done their jobs, it'll queue just as the Aatrox ults. All right, Dragon, 30 seconds again. So SK's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place now because there's always the risk of the Baron being started at the risk of a Dragon Soul, and whereas Navi, it seems that their sights are very much set on this Dragon. Mid wave is secured. That tower's still up though.
Yeah, Maynter was able to push the bottom wave, go for a reset, and TP right back to the rest of the team.
Miles away from the Soul right now. I think Navi should genuinely feel okay with this trade.
They take
Soul for Baron, I think is worth it, yeah.
But it looks like they want to contest instead. They don't want to give SK any other tools, any possibility to come back in, because if you give that Baron, then suddenly the team fights, maybe they are able to win one and just end the game right off of it. Maynter has a flank right now. They're checking as Mikyx flashes forward, gets flashed out of SomD. Maynter, meanwhile, jumps in onto him. Tempered Fate will land onto the damage. 1v1 of Poby versus Wunder, but Maynter gets the first kill and able to flash out to safety. Now, tag in the boss. Here comes Rhilech. The Aatrox unleashed as SomD can finally free fire and hit. Flash from the Aatrox. Gets the clone out of Skeanz. Poby with the kill. And Rhilech will chase down Jopa. Leader will try and help out his AD carry as he jumps over the wall. The charm will land. Rhilech actually in some trouble. Jopa feeling confident to go forward, and he gets the kill on the Rhilech. Boss down. Jopa stands. Poby across the veil. Oh, doesn't have the damage. Weirdning's gonna miss. Maynter gets a knock up on a leader, but Jopa is now the boss! Jopa, the main character! True Shot Barrage not gonna land. Parus is able to live that one, but Jopa keeping SK in this.
I mean, Jopa is the hero for SK right now, but I am shocked that Navi chased so deep for those kills. There is a soul on the Rift available for you to take, and now your jungler is dead, whereas Skeanz, I mean, that has to, oh, I'm getting confused because it's Mikyx turned as, I thought the Skeanz was back on the map. I fell for it again. So Mikyx doesn't connect the engage onto anyone. Double flashes a burn from the carries, which might be helpful later, but then a beautiful ball ultimate connects onto the damage as you identified. Wunder's trying to threaten Poby, but it's Wunder that's forced to retreat, and straight from the offset, SK's on the back foot. They weren't able to get good damage down. They're forced to retreat. The only shining hope is that Jopa is still staying at arm's length. But then Navi get greedy. They're hungry for kills. They think they can get more. A good charm here comes through from Leader, getting good damage, and then Jopa sees his opportunity.
And again, he's able to dodge once over the wall to get away from Poby's Weirdning, again over the wall to get away from the Cosmic Binding. Jopa played this fight so well, but is it enough? They get the Dragon afterwards. We see SK with the second one, but that means Navi get free reign over this Baron, so once again the soul is denied. But once again, Navi will pick up a Baron buff and can try and use this to attempt to close out of the game. But, I mean, like you'd highlighted before, Vedius, I mean, Wunder's going to get a turret down here. The later this game goes, the less that gold lead matters. Yeah. Because the closer that percentage is going to be.
I mean, like, when teams are kind of at 4 items each, usually items on top of that end up being like luxury items.
Sure.
Not that they,
Zonias.
Not that they can't be additional damage, especially for AD carries, but like look at, there's the 5th item now finished for SamD. Like it's a GA, right? You know. Yeah. And obviously that's going to help a lot in terms of, but.
We're also seeing double Sinner's books, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Sinner's books.
Yeah, that's what we call it in LCS here. Leader and Poby feeling confident enough to pick those up. Poby's still deathless, by the way.
That ward. I thought they were face checking into an Ahri there, but Leader was in the area. Ult used.
That is just everybody onto Rhilech. Parus will drop down the portal and try and give him an escape tool, but the charm lands. Rhilech can't quite get in there, but he's still alive. They barely take him down, but it takes so long that Navi will answer back in kind. Jopa's trying to get back to safety, has Mikyx there. The auto from Parus will slow him down. SomD's running forward, has the portal. Jopa, Arcane shifting it back as Poby will look to take down Mikyx, who baited him being the Ezreal. Navi, though, I mean, they've separated all members of SK, and they have a wave in the mid lane. They're just going to push the end. Parus is going to stop the badge, but the True Shot Barrage will get a kill. Jopa on a rampage. Mikyx with a flank onto the back line. Leader with their shutdown onto Poby, and SK will defend at the base. A Tangle Bar is perfectly timed. Second shutdown to Leader. leader. SK win the fight.
What is happening? What the hell is this? Like, this is insane. So this is the worst possible position for SK to fight. They are grouped up inside the jungle, and Sandy just gets to unleash. Look at the bouncing blades. Look at the damage he's dealing to everyone as SK simply melt. They have to retreat. But Jopa, this man is not missing his cues. Connect after connect after connect, chipping down onto Parus, who's trying to interrupt his base. NAVI think if Jopa doesn't get back, we can end the game. But then Mikyx with an incredible play connects double ult into double root, into then Rhilech coming up and getting a double kill.
Wow.
Just beautiful, beautiful stuff from Mikyx. SK hold on to this game.
And the perfectly timed tangle barbs afterwards. Double shutdown to leader. 20 stacks on the Mejais. Poby just sold his. This game has completely flipped on its head.
And again, the gold means less and less. That mid tower, will it finally fall?
NAVI getting a little desperate now. They throw the temper spade. It's dodged by leader and Jopa. Rhilech now taking a huge chunk of damage. And that's not even Flash's burn. That's Spirit Rush. That's Arcane Shift. Yeah, SK, they absorb it.
That was very cool from leader. He rocket belted forward, ultied backwards. That was very nice to sidestep that ulti. Then connects the charm. They finally get that mid tower. Again, this gold just matters less and less the later into the game we go. But NAVI, against Koi, they found an impressive comeback. But with a lead, they've made too many overconfident plays, and they haven't respected the playmaking potential of SK.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like SK, they've unlocked their limit break here. If they're fighting the boss, they got through the first health bar. They're over halfway through the second. The combos of this team and what they're pulling off right now, very impressive. Wunder's back is stopped, as Rhilech is able to get on top of him. TP in from Poby. This would be a massive pick for NAVI. Wunder's gotta live. His team has put in so much work to keep them in this game. He's on the Ambessa. Flash forward from Rhilech. Will land. Poby with the kill.
What can they convert this into, though? It's a minute until Wunder spawns.
40 seconds till Dragon, though. He won't be up for it.
But he has TP. So there's, what, a 12-second desync? So they would have to stall for 12 seconds. And before he could join. And then, of course, the actual time for the TP to arrive.
12 seconds is a long time against 5-item Sivir against Poby, who's still 8-1-3. NAVI have a window here. How do SK delay those 12 seconds to get Wunder back on the map? Maynter TP's back in. NAVI are just going to control the mid wave. And leader currently is shoving that top lane in.
And remember, Soul here for NAVI if they can lock this one down. Top seems to be the focus. They're trying to trade gold. It looks like they've just abandoned the Soul.
Yeah.
I guess they cannot yet. So, Dragon spawns, the timer starts, 9 seconds, 8. Yeah, they're not even going to attempt to stall. They'll just give over the Soul, okay.
Tough timing for Wunder to get picked right there. He's able to get the wave shoved in, but Rhilech stops the back, and that rewards NAVI with the Dragon Soul. Baron's going to be coming up in 1 minute's time. I gotta say, though, even though that was a slight blunder there in the very tail end of this game, the fact that we're at this point in the game is still impressive, Vedi. SK have not given up. They've held on for much longer than I expected. I thought that 2 Barons ago, this game was going to be wrapped.
Well, I think it was over-aggression on the side of NAVI, and also Jopa just being a bit of a star. So impressive stuff from him. Let's see if he can continue to work his magic here. Is Mikyx? Mikyx is a plan.
There's no way.
That won't work, Mikyx. They're not going to go anywhere near it.
I mean, they might.
Look at the minimap. You just see
they might.
a honey fruit.
Look at it. Okay, I've said there's a chance. Although they're not looking at Baron at all, right? I mean, it's coming up in 15 seconds. This is a long con.
It absolutely
to end all
is a
long cons.
con.
He's going to have to stay there for quite a while.
Yeah,
okay,
they're recalling now.
That would have been good, though.
That's way too ambitious.
That would have been fantastic. Leader has a flank right now, looking at Maynter. 1 charm.
Is he spotted on Vision? Oh, wait, is Mikyx just... Wait.
Everyone's looking at him. Skeanz is also deep in enemy territory. He's definitely spotted out. No, it is actually just Mikyx on the Nico.
So
Temper Fate will land. Cosmic Binding, easy follow-up. And Mikyx in enemy territory trying to find a game-winning flank will instead get picked off by NAVI, and that might just be the Baron for NAVI. He's buying a lot of time. So SK will have some time to get some waves, but they're not even pushing top. They're not pushing bot. That is just a pick for NAVI.
Yeah, he overcooked, and he ended up getting punished for it. Has Poby now overcooked? Is he in no man's land?
Oh, big chunk on the leader. The charm will go wide. Poby's able to sidestep that one. Across the veil between worlds, blast cone, and Jopa continuing the chase. I mean, Ezreal can follow that up, and he's got the damage. Shut down for Jopa.
I mean, kill for kill, but it's a Baron secured for NAVI, and I think they're happy with this trade. They can just wait for Poby to come back to life. A minute will be lost on the Baron, but they'll be able to, I mean, I think close out the game off the back of that.
I mean, that's more gold on the Jopa. He's getting close towards that full build, but it is still a gold lead for NAVI plus the Baron. This game, man, this is just a pendulum swinging back and forth. NAVI have yet to give up that gold lead, but it just feels like there's this magic in SK's hands right now. I don't know what to call it. Maybe it's main character syndrome?
It's Jopa.
It's Jopa.
Jopa is the name of the magic. He continues to land these skill shots, and he's making it difficult. This is a
TP, double TP? That's a double TP in.
That was a choice, yeah. I mean, I guess they thought that they could catch Sam D out. They thought that he'd overstepped, but they walk away to safety. Navi's completely fine. That's both TPs now gone. I mean, there's no objectives on the map, so like, what are you really going to use those TP for anyway?
Yeah.
The next fight is probably going to decide the game.
We got Elder Dragon in 3 minutes. We got Baron in 5. We got Samdi pressing the R button, running at leader. Tempered Fate will get out the Spirit Rush. Leader's able to dodge that one easily, and NAVI do not find their engage. Meanwhile, Poby is able to TP back onto the Rift, and we'll start hitting this inhibitor. It will go down fast.
So that's going to be another inhibitor as well. NAVI taking their time, picking apart the base of SK, realizing that they've thrown one too many times this game, and they instead just need to do it piece by piece. There's no way they're going to wait for Elder, are they? Do they need Elder?
I mean, maybe they do. We do have full item Samdi. Sivir has reached critical mass. All 6 items plus the boots. Jopa just finished there, so Serpent's Fang picked up for some of the shielding coming in from the items, as Poby has a big flank right here. I mean, if he's able to unleash everything onto Jopa and just eliminate this Ezreal at the start of the fight, that's huge. And he's sticking in that brush. Poby's not moving.
I mean, Aatrox is top, so is Sivir. I don't understand. He's been spotted. They've pinged him. They see him.
I don't know where he's going at this. Okay. SK's ended up in the bot lane. We're just kind of like passing, waving each other.
I mean,
Ships in the
so
night.
SK is pushing out mid and bot as much as possible so that it's easy to defend top. NAVI, however, are just kind of a bit of everywhere. They need to get to top lane relatively soon. I don't know why Rhilech is doing Grom. Like, I really don't think it matters when you're about to end the game, but all right.
Okay, he's close. He's close to that final item. It's a flash engage on the Samdi. Skeanz just finds the AD carry, and straight out of the GA, he's in trouble. Samdi full health bar back, and he's going to go down. Wunder picks it up, but it's a heavy cost as Rhilech and Maynter, the bosses, step up to the plate. Poby with a double kill as Wunder and Mikyx will fall. NAVI absorb the engage. Their AD carry was the bait, and the solo laners plus jungler close it out. NAVI in a banger of a game will even this series. We're going to another game.
We had a lot in this game too. We had a lot happen, and we don't need to yap about it. Instead, the desk can. Take it away, guys. So now they're going into game 3. It is it's going to go on a while. So yeah, it's been a long day so far for the players. We've still got another series to go, remember?
Yeah, we got more League of Legends ahead of us. I feel like opening weekend has blessed us. We've had almost all 3 games.
Depends on your perspective.
Well, do you like League of Legends, Vedius?
Yeah, it's more like the...
What's going on with the LEC casters? I come in for a couple weekends. Everyone's like, okay, more League?
For me, you got to understand, from my POV, I just came back from first time, brother.
You know, fair. I'm fresh.
Tired.
Yeah. My jet lag's pretty much beat at this point. Yeah.
But I mean, it's always a pleasure to watch the second best region in the world, of course.
Oh,
so,
of course. Hey, that's why I felt honored to come.
Yeah. So
to
I mean,
watch
and SK and NAVI gave us a very entertaining game too. So we get to see the draft. I hope everyone at home can also see the draft.
We're seeing it right there on screen.
We're seeing picks locked in.
They're going fast, thankfully, because they did it offline already, just to make sure we got through it. That's what we heard from the voices in our head, as Vedius likes to say. You never name drop? the producers?
No.
Well, it
they
would
might
be
not, they might not like their name out on the
Let me
public,
check.
Voice in their head. So he's going to ask if you guys...
It's a fun name, too, because...
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Finn. It's going to be confusing for everybody.
Well, see, because now,
Finn.
because now we've also got Analyst Finn as well.
I know, but that makes it exciting, because then people can think, like, wait, did Finn become
Your
part
definition of
production?
exciting is very different to mine.
Well, yeah. I think we're learning that we have some differences. Not many, actually. We have many similarities, too. But
Yeah, we're also learning the biggest difference is in the skill gap of our rip-bound skills. Oh, the burn.
He is currently beating me in our game that we're playing. But here we go.
Okay.
So let's catch up. It's Victor. Of course it's Victor.
Okay,
Why did that not immediately come to my mind?
It took us so long. But hang on, the Yone
embarrassed about
Hover
that,
and the
actually.
Yone lock in. So I was right, but for the wrong reason. It's a Nivea top. He's actually playing a Nivea top.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and actually, yeah, the voice in my head just confirmed this is also Wunder's first Nivea top.
So funnily enough, this is crazy. So you know how I was shocked by the Janna support for Mickey? I'm not actually shocked by our Nivea top because we saw this last year from Nako. He was playing this as well. I think he was the only person in our league playing a Nivea top. I don't think anyone else was, but this was a thing last year, 2025. I think it was LPL that popularized it.
And we're hearing from our stats guy Molecule that Wunder's also been playing this in solo queue.
Yeah, so I think it's actually very good into Renekton. Early on, I don't think it does anything.
Sure.
But I think that once you get to level 6, I think Renekton really is very, very sad. I think the way that they flip this around, but again, so what you're seeing is super interesting because this is the environment that Mickey talks about when he says he wanted to create a pro player environment where like people could just kind of express themselves and play the way that they think they want to be able to play. And Yone is very leader, like as we were talking about, right? Like he's been known as a player that wants to play his champions. And so the expectation was that Anivia was going to go into the mid lane. It caught Navi now completely off guard. They blind pick the Renekton because they think it's a safe blind. And then they pivot, send the Anivia top. And I think Yone is a good answer into Victor for the same reasons that Yone is a good answer into Victor. Because in a side lane, Victor just can't deal with it.
Yeah, whether it's the Anivia or the Victor, either way, you know, you're feeling solid as the Yone. And SK's composition looking very exciting. Game number 3, Navi versus SK. Winner takes all here. As leader, actually going to be in a bit of a 1v2 situation. Will the Q land from Rhilech? No, he's not even going to go for it. Actually, I mean, leader sees him. He's got the ward in the brush.
Yeah, he's going to be zoned away.
Know.
It looks like that, honestly, it could go either way now. I mean, Rhilech wants to invade. Ooh, but look at the adaptation from Skeanz. He's reading the play, he sees it, and here comes the collapse from Mickey as well.
Mickey and Jopa gonna punish Rhilech for the attempt. He drops down the ward, will flash over the Dragon Pit wall, and do the walk of shame back to his own jungle, falling behind in the jungle clear.
Yeah, so that ward from leader did a lot of work there, because not only does it spot out Rhilech, I don't know if Rhilech knew that he was standing on a ward. I'm gonna assume that he didn't.
I imagine not, because leader kept kind of walking back in range.
And also,
for the
we can see that the ward wasn't pinged out either.
Yeah.
So because of that, they had no idea that he was on a ward. And so Skeanz now has the information. If he's sitting here in the river, then he has to be going to invade my Raptors. So he then paths down. He's in a position to challenge. Recognize the Raptors weren't started, which means he has to be on red, which means that he's then able to work with his bot lane to then challenge and contest it. The problem is the bot lane then gets zoned away from farm because they moved up to try and help. And so now they're conceding in the push. They're a little bit behind. Leader's taking a lot of damage in the mid lane, kind of what we expect in the early laning phase, just because Victor is actually a very oppressive lane bully. I
love the Victor taking the Ahri into these melee matchups too, because just your autos are going to start doing so much damage as well. And despite the fact that Rhilech had to flash over the wall, he's actually farming a little bit faster than Skeanz, who went from Raptors to Krugs to camp and now going to the top side. So Skeanz is actually a little behind on the timer here. Interesting to see.
But the pathing will mean that his Raptors spawn sooner.
Fair.
So in theory, he can clear out his top side, go for top crab. I was wrong, by the way. Top matchup I thought would suck early for Anivia. It is very good for Anivia.
It's gotta crush.
We got solo queue stats from our team behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm assuming they're from Molecule.
Yep.
But Wunder's Anivia top solo queue, 25 games, 14 wins, 11 losses. 2.2 KDA. His average gold diff at 15, 1,293.
That's pretty high.
That's his average.
That's with 11 losses too. You think the average would not be that high as Skeanz finds Rhilech.
No flash.
Who smites away the Scuttle Crab, but Skeanz winning the 1v1 so far. Poby walking up to make it an unfair fight. Flash from Skeanz over the gravity well. Gets first blood onto Rhilech as Poby knocked up by Leader. Has the flash available, will flash back to the turret. Skeanz has the revive, does not land a dreaded return. Will go back into the passive resurrection and walk out with first blood.
Okay, I mean, really nice adaptation from start to finish from Skeanz. Everything that he's just done. The fact that he adjusted his pathing to be on the bot side of the map, the fact that he took the Raptors first, ready, expecting a full clear. The TP then comes here, of course, is a very slow TP. Skeanz doesn't have a smite available to contest, so even though he's a level down, he knows that there's no flash available. The gravity field looks great from Poby, but a flash from Skeanz allows him to get over it. And then they came super close to actually getting this kill, but Skeanz cooldown's very long in the early game. He doesn't really have anything left. He also doesn't want to be stuck underneath the tower when his passive gets procced, because there's a risk that Poby could actually outplay and do something there. So really awesome stuff from SK here in the early game. Hasn't really resulted in a significant gold lead really either way. But still, a nice advantage gain from SK early. Yeah, first blood over to the Zahen feels fantastic. Leader also, meanwhile, was able to kind of equalize the lane because he TPs back to lane and is about even in CS clear. Top lane, Maynter was able to get the wave shove. We didn't see exactly how the trade happened, but Wunder very low on health. Will have to go for his first reset, TP back to lane with just the tier. Well, Renekton does have sustain, right? But thanks to his Q. And on top of that, Anivia only has so much mana. So once the mana's gone, you're just kind of, well, you're susceptible to a Renekton all-in. So that's probably what happened. He's still in a very comfortable spot, though. We'll see if he can build the sort of solo queue leads that he's able to build in the early game. As Skeanz off to a fantastic start, has now cleared his bot side, pathing back up towards top. He's a little bit behind in camps, but still in a good spot. He's able to hopefully not have those mana issues anymore once you pick up that tier. Didn't quite have enough for the Aegis, but going to be building towards Rod of Ages, I imagine, based on the Ruby Crystal plus. Ooh, did miss a cannon. Sapphire. Oh, that's minus one. Help there, wasn't it? Yeah, that's going to hurt the plus 1,293 gold average. He's going to be like 1,233 now. Yeah, a good fast math there. That was nice. Yeah, so this is the part of the matchup where it gets super annoying. Leader has ult. Ooh, immediately drops down the Arcane Storm on the Leader. Poby's got to run away, though, because Skeanz is nearby. He'll just clear the wave and back off. So ultimate used, not to much effect, but NAVI will immediately send Rhilech down towards the Dragon, and they have their bot lane there as well. Nice secure. The Leader sticking around. He just flashes in. Fate sealed. Knock up on the Poby. Skeanz there as well, but Parus keeping his mid laner safe. So Leader not able to find the kill. He thought he had the damage, but Lulu shielding's too much. So I thought that Yone did basically 0 damage there, but what I failed to recognize, Poby Q shield, Lulu E shield, and then Lulu heal on top of that as well. So that's all the things that they actually went through, which is why it looked like Poby's HP didn't really move. Yep. But close to a kill. Nice idea. Nice, I guess, punish in a sense. Leader still hasn't base though. All right, that's a little risky now. Yeah, I mean, one Q auto from Poby could be enough right there. So Leader's gonna have to. There's no way he's sticking around, really. Yeah, the wave's pushing away from him. I think he wants. He wanted XP. He wanted level 7. That's why. Okay. And so he's thinking if he got level 7, maybe he could do something. But now the wave is slow pushing away from him. He needs his jungler to help him fix it, but his jungler can't afford to fix it because Rhilech is threatening an invade because Rhilech recognizes enemy mid still hasn't based. So yeah, I think Leader really needed to look for an opportunity to go back to base earlier because it's kind of messing with Skeanz a little bit now. Skeanz just ooh, Maynter going for the all-in here onto Wunder. Flashed early there, trying to slow down Maynter. Does not have the wall anymore, but Maynter just can't get through that Anivia ulti. Such an annoying matchup for Renekton to deal with. The early Merc treads, I think, makes a ton of sense, though. Is helping him out. He is going to come back to base. Oh, no, he's going to push out another wave. Anivia doesn't have the TP available. And now that Wunder has a little bit more HP, thanks to the Catalyst, he should feel a little bit more comfortable in this matchup. I wonder if he'll go for early armor boots. I felt like it would really help him against the Renekton, but at the same time, does it make sense? You know, the other thing I was thinking about, well, I didn't get a chance to say it. In the old days, you'd swap Renekton to mid. and
you can't really
put
do that
and
these
you'd put
days.
Victor top into the Anivia. That's what you'd do back in the day, back in my day.
Back in your day.
But now they've got
Back
wall
before
crests,
2026.
so you can't do that anymore. Yeah, you just you're not allowed.
Yeah, that's changed a lot of matchups. Counter picks are real now, as another Arcane Storm will go down here, clearing the wave and getting some damage on the leader. But it means that these like hard counter picks, you can't just dodge them by moving around on the map because you're going to put your quest behind so much.
All right. Well, taking stock of the state of the game right now. Grubs are available. Rhilech is fishing mid as leader continues to lose HP.
Yeah, he's so low. He has a Fate Seal. Will go in for big damage on the Poby, but he does not have the backup of Skeanz because Rhilech is playing bodyguard. Just a trade of health bar. Leader did heavily chunk down Poby.
Yeah, I mean, remember Poby was full HP and leader was like 30% as the bot lane.
And nice knockup onto Samdi right there. Jopa jumping away. Has used the Transcend oneself. Arc of Ruin onto the wave just to clear it out. So no one's going to go down on the bot side.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wait, that's a TP from Leader straight into the gravity field, and Rhilech on top of him. Poby stuck around because his jungler was nearby. Soul and Bound will go right back into the waiting arms of Rhilech. Skeanz is now here to pull him back. Will lose his mid laner, but if Skeanz can trade it, it could be worth. Rhilech gets the kill. Skeanz does not go under the turret. It is just a kill for NAVI.
I mean, that was just a terrible TP. That was a really bad choice by Leader. There was no need to TP to the wave. He completely disrespected the possibility of a jungler being there, and NAVI happy to pick up that kill, especially with how the trades have been going in favor of Leader. Normally Blade is when it gets really, really bad for the 1v1s, but you can already see that Leader, it comes close to basically 100-0ing the Victor, even at this point, because no armor has been picked up by Poby. I forget the name of the rune. You know the plates you get when you get
bone plating.
Bone plating. That's what I was.
It saved his life earlier.
Yeah. So bone plating is super effective against a Yone specifically, and basically Leader, as long as he plays around that, like procs it with a cheeky Q or something, and then he knows he has the potential for the all-in.
Because there's not even like health picked up on Poby right now, so
yeah, exactly.
Very squishy.
But yeah, so getting this advantage, getting this kill, really helpful for Poby. I mean, he doesn't get the kill, obviously, but he's got enough of a lead now that with the Lost Chapter completed, he should feel a little bit more comfortable.
Maynter looking for that second
just get
plate.
stunned?
We'll take one turret shot. Yeah, I don't think there's enough mana on Wunder right there, as Leader now going in has to deal with Parus as well as Poby. And again, the gravity field for the Soul Unbound. He's going to get stunned up there. Oh, nice. Gets the Q out of there. Mortal still back to safety. So supports roaming in to help out their mid laners, and Poby taking the better of it, as Leader's going to have to go for another reset.
He should have lifesteal at this point, though. So that'll help him a ton. The lifesteal in conjunction with the fleet footwork will do a lot to help support him as the dragon. Second of the game now spawns, and look at the positioning of Rhilech. I love how Rhilech is just leveraging the mid lane matchup specifically to know that it's very difficult for SK to contest this. Yone is just weak this early on into the game, and it's not like Victor's a monster or anything, but his ability to get this mid-wave control makes it so much easier for Rhilech, knowing that with the bot power that he also has, they can comfortably secure this objective.
Oh, Wunder was never able to get it back off here. Maynter gets the passive, so we have Anivia Egg, but Skeanz is in the neighborhood. And now Maynter's going to have to try and get out of here. He has Slice. He's going to try and dice over and then maybe flash. The knockup still lands from Skeanz, but the dreaded return will not. He goes forward with the ultimate and finds the kill, flashing for it. SK will get a kill for Skeanz as Jopa jumping away. Flash fall from Rhilech as Jopa flashes the wall. He's kind of in no man's land right now. On the wrong side of the rift, Rhilech can just continue the chase. Jopa has no backup. There's a TP from Wunder if maybe he can get a ward down, but instead he's just going to look for the execute. Can Rhilech land a Q? The cleaver? Oh, it's just a smite. That's easier to land, and that is a kill for Rhilech.
So the reason why this mega sucks for Jopa is because not only did he die, which obviously sucks.
That sucks.
But he lost like 3 waves bot, I think. Because he got zoned away by 2 because his jungler was ganking top. And then he gets zoned away by a 3rd one because while he's running, a whole other wave has made its way bot, and Samdi clears it all out. There is a 30 CS difference between the two AD carries, and it is simply because of Skeanz' presence and appearance up towards the top side.
Yeah, and also just Rhilech always being in the right place at the right time. He gets the dragon, shuts down Jopa in that bottom lane. And if we go back to how this game started, I did not think that Rhilech would be this far ahead and clear as well. Let's get another look, though, at what happens topside, because Maynter spends a lot of his health bar just to get the passive of the NAVI.
Yeah, I mean, his goal here is to...
Oh, leader almost dies.
Is it the Scorch gets the kill? No. Yeah, fortunately, there's not a lot of breakdown here in this replay. Skeanz kind of has to commit his flash because he just fumbled. He doesn't connect the pullback. And then Jopa, you see him. He's isolated away from the tower already. Rhilech does the smart thing of just pathing bot, threatening the possibility of a dive. Yeah, and then it all goes pear-shaped.
Yep, and he can't even get the execute either. Just, bam.
The good news for Wunder is he gets more gold because he gets to hit the top tower.
True.
But yeah, SamD now is what we would define as a problem. Because he has the Storm Raze is finished and this Aphelios is quite far ahead.
Yeah, I went to the problem club. They had a picture of somebody up there. President of the problem club.
The gold is a little bit inflated just because Jopa hasn't finished his role quest yet. But yeah, I mean, Lulu Aphelios is strong. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, Leader and Jopa both not finishing it because they've officially lane swapped here. Leader now still losing the 1v1 versus Poby. The Victor heavily punishing the range advantage, and that is ultimate to safety. Generally, you want that to go towards the enemy, not away.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, Victor's just, he's not weak. Like, he's a good laner. Like, this champion, he's got long cooldowns, but especially when you get level 9. I mean, he's level 11, so he's got 3 points in his Q, 5 points in his E. Like, he can trade. He's happy to go back and forth. And I think he may have even had his... Is it ambitious to say he's got a second upgrade already? I mean, he's definitely got his E upgrade, but I haven't been keeping track if he's actually at the second one.
I mean, this would be a pretty fast one, but he was part of one kill. And if he's just hitting all the cannons, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, actually, with 146 CS. I play some Victor, but it might surprise you. I'm a little behind the typical pro for upgrades. As SamD, big trade on the Jopa. Not enough damage to kill him. But SK's 80 carries gonna have to go for another reset here as leader. TP back into lane and still stunned up by Poby. No ultimate available this time around as Poby will get the flash out instead. And it's just the same story from 30 seconds ago.
Trade your flash for a plate? I don't know if I agree with that. Well, I mean, Poby is kind of making fun of leader right now. He's been so put behind securing that Blade of the Ruined King. Normally at this point in the game, I would argue he should have it by now. But yeah, he is. Yeah, he's behind the clock, absolutely. And Poby's very comfortable in this matchup. He has a full level over leader now. Leader is very reliant on, like, when he gets Blade, I think he still just wins. Jopa gonna face check Rhilech.
Rhilech gets the cleaver and a slow and a heart steel proc. Big damage from just the tank. As the spell shield immunity goes away, and leader again in the gravity field dies in the 1v1. Poby just crushing this matchup. Wunder, meanwhile, finds himself in a 1v1. Maynter's popped the ultimate, but Skeanz coming in for backup. Maynter will just walk up to hit the wave and has Rhilech in his back pocket as well. So not a lot to be done about this top lane. SK will just lose their mid laner bot side and find nothing else.
The thing is, conversations about the draft don't really matter anymore because leader's just losing.
Yeah.
Like, he's just... Like, it's not a good look when you go bot lane 3 times. You lose the trade. The first loss of the trade is fine. I'm willing to give you that, right? Victor, not that weak, especially like if he's able to land absolutely everything on you. Fine. You come back. You then lose your flash for a plate.
Yep.
And then you go back a 3rd time and you die.
He still doesn't have Blade of the Ruined King. Now just finished it.
I mean, yeah, it's. He's insanely... Hextech alternator now picked up for Poby. The thing is, I don't know if Yone is so OP that with just Blade alone, he now suddenly wins this matchup. I couldn't tell you. But
I would be surprised.
I would also be surprised. But now that's 3rd dragon. I think that SK is not strong enough to contest this.
Especially with SamD having red-white on Aphelios. This would be a miracle fight for SK to win it. Wunder doesn't have TP. I mean, he's walking down here, and SK is positioning like they maybe want to take this. Teleport is available for Maynter, and Wunder is making the trek all the way down. Skeanz can't find the dreaded return, already down to half health. Will go for the Grim Deliverance, big damage, and then he steals away the dragon. Will give his life for it, but objective denied.
Yeah, they get the TP out from Maynter as well. Wunder decided to roam down. He's going to catch that mid wave, but Okay, so SK buy themselves a little bit more time, stealing away that objective. I was kind of waiting to see the Janna ultimate, but I guess Mikyx didn't really see a good angle to do it. There was a world where maybe he could flash in and then ult to try and create space for his jungler, but I guess they just made the call, you know what, let's not risk it. Yeah, let's not risk it. Let's instead just get the dragon, get out.
Maynter will catch Wunder trying to hit the wave. I mean, at this point, yeah, when you're the Renekton, you're just like, I know that if I stand too far away from you, you're just going to chunk me. I can't stand on the wave, so just go in for it. But yeah, let's take another look at this replay here.
So an early flash from Poby, he kind of has to do it. Grim Deliverance connects on the 4, he gets a chunk of HP back, but then polymorph into Gravity Field.
Oh, and we see live, Poby roams up here. Maynter plus his mid laner will definitely have enough damage to get through that Anivia. And also, Mikyx dies in the top jungle. Navi find 2, and we'll get a turret.
I mean, this is just kind of disappointing to see from SK because I felt like in game 1, they showed up. I felt like all of the players were really locked in and they were having a good performance. Game 2, they fought back.
Yeah.
They punished the mistakes from Navi. Even though they didn't end up winning that game, at the very least, they showed... well, they showed something, but here in Game 3, they're just losing.
Yeah, and Leader, okay, he's actually scaring Maynter away a little bit.
Yeah, so
Maynter
Blade of the
did
Ruin
back
King
up.
Yone, I mean, it's a thing. Yeah.
That did a lot more damage than I was expecting. I will give you that as Poby hitting that turret. Leader going to go for the TP, and Maynter will cancel it. So now, polymorph onto Skeanz. He's got a Grim Deliverance back away, as well as Flash. SK do not have their ultimate available on the Zehen. And Navi can just take these jungle camps away. Rhilech actually hit by the wall, but he's fine. He can walk around it.
So I am criticizing SK a lot in this cast, which shouldn't take away from the fact that Rhilech is really just running the Rift right now.
100%.
He is working super well with Parus. He spent a lot of his early game playing around bot side. Mikyx gets caught on awards, and then he has his ult available.
I guess he just saves it.
Oh, yeah, I guess he chooses to save it. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't use it to get away to safety. He even doesn't commit the Fash either. Just says that him dying doesn't matter that much. But there will be more gold over to Rhilech, who Dead Man's Plate now finished for him. A little bit of extra speed on this Mundo, who's level 13.
And I got to remind everybody that that was a disastrous start for Rhilech. He went for the invade, spotted out, had the flash early, and he still put on this performance. Very impressive from this jungler.
Absolutely. And Samdi's still this massive threat. 229 farm at 20 minutes. He's well ahead of the clock. Infinity Edge already finished for him. And Maynter, even though like counterpick came through, he's down 8 CS. He got a nice gank from Poby while we were chatting as well. You did call it out earlier. So he's in a very comfortable spot. And SK quickly running out of options to turn this game around.
And gold leads on all the key targets. It's Poby, it's Samdi, both with 2.3 thousand gold advantages. That's hefty for the 2 carries of the team. And even the big front line, Rhilech being this far ahead means that it's going to be so difficult for SK to get through the health bars. I mean, maybe like an insane Zehen engage getting onto the back line, shutting down Samdi, and then having your passive. If Wunder's able to control the approach of Maynter on a flank or something like that, but I'm just not seeing enough damage right now. But it's never impossible, and we're not going to caster curse anybody, Vedius.
Right.
I believe we've learned our lesson.
Because caster curses aren't real.
Yeah, well, Baron attempt is real here, as it will be spotted out now. Wards drops down. Skeanz takes some damage from the death laser of Poby. Navi have it down to half health as SK will approach. Now Maynter takes a blast cone in for the flank, gets onto Mikyx, gets onto Skeanz, polymorph onto the Zehen, and he just can't get the passive off. Grim Deliverance away again, as SK are in full retreat mode. Maynter still has the flank angle right now. Navi will decide to back off. They just clear the wave and look back at the Baron.
That was a really good example of how limited Navi's engages. They kind of have to run at their opponent. And so Janna provides a lot of value in her ability to create even more space and make it even harder for Navi to close that gap. Renekton on the flank looked really scary. Oh, a bit of a knock-up. But you could see how difficult it was into Anivia Janna.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see elements of how this composition is supposed to work. The problem for SK is just how far behind in gold they are right now. But if they get to close that gap, if they can keep stalling, you can see the idea behind how this comp is supposed to function from SK.
I'm just confused as to what happened after that. SK were able to get multiple plates mid. They're controlling mid and bot wave, and now they have priority at Dragon.
This is their ideal spot, by the way.
Yeah,
they
this
love
is
to be
fantastic for SK. NAVI are going to have to approach. Maynter still has a flank angle, but with no Renekton ultimate, it's not going to be as scary. He still takes a blast cone. He still gets on. Flash from Wunder as Leader goes in, immediately CC'd, snaps back. Flash from Rhilech. He's chasing him down. And once again, it's the jungler of NAVI that is the boss. Mundo gets the shutdown. Skeanz goes to the passive and he steals another dragon. SK, that's the second one. They'll trade their jungler's life for it, but Jopa is still alive, still healthy enough. Stun lands onto Maynter. He's stuck in the Glacial Storm. Rhilech has no ultimate available, but he does have the Heartsteel stack damage. Wunders into the passive. Jopa shut down. He tried to hold the line, but a double kill to Rhilech seals the team fight for NAVI.
That fight felt so hard for NAVI to navigate, but they still managed to get 4 kills for 0. The blast cone from Maynter was absolutely perfect. It put him in just the right spot. Wunder had to flash immediately. And while they do lose the dragon, they're able to secure the Baron.
And this time it should go down. No contest available. Let's get another look at that. Beautiful.
Fantastic blast cone, puts you straight on top of Mikyx. He has to flash away. Now Jopa doesn't get any peel. Leader's diving in by himself. The Grim Deliverance gets used at the very end to just help fill up that passive of Skeanz. He then comes back to life, secures the Smite Steal. But Navi's saying we can still go for this fight. Maynter's doing such a good job of finding ways onto the backline. Good angle inside the Dragon Pit, uses the E over the wall, comes close to dying, but his Dominus comes back off cooldown. And then Wunder gets chased down by the Mundo. So it's a really interesting back and forth where I think if the gold was closer, you can see how SK's composition could have been thriving, but the gold gap is simply too big.
Yeah.
And Rhilech is simply too much of a meat shield for SK to break through.
Jopa could not get through Rhilech, and then Samdi hit a big one right there onto Jopa, onto Mikyx, on the Wunder. And at this point, with a 9.3 thousand gold lead, yes, NAVI have lost 2 dragons in a row. But now with the Baron buff and this massive gold advantage, you have to imagine that they're going to start cracking this base. It's going to start with the tier 2 turret in the bottom side. They're going to push this wave in. Wunder does have a lot of wave clear as the Anivia. The Glacial Storm is annoying to get through, but the Baron-empowered minions with more magic resist will be hard to clear. They do go down fast, and actually a big double stun from Wunder right there. Grim Deliverance onto Parus and Poby. Mikyx going forward as well with the slow. The Tornado's not going to land, but the Frostbite will. Jopa damage onto Poby. He's still safe. He's into the stasis, but a shutdown for Jopa will finally go down. But now Leader's in there on the Maynter. Poby killed Jopa, but it's still good for SK in a 1-for-2 trade.
That bot tower, I'm telling you, it's a scary place. It is a scary place for all pro teams to go. As SK, they show a glimmer of hope, a small opportunity, but the tower still falls. They get a couple kills, they'll burn a couple flashes. Taking out Samdi and Poby will give you some shutdown gold as well.
It's Wunder. He sets it up with the Frostbite here. He throws up the wall.
Oh, I mean, the knockup
Boom.
from Mikyx as well, though. I mean, the combination between Wunder and Mikyx still going strong after all these years. They're able to find a nice play, buys a little bit of time. Jopa, though, goes absolutely crazy here.
Yeah.
Dashes over the wall into melee range of Samdi, who then gets one shot. He now has nowhere he can go because Maynter's on the flank. Leader tries to collapse onto Maynter, but he's able to walk away to safety. So it ends up being a 2-for-1.
But both carries going down. It was the Victor and it was the Aphelios that had 2.3 thousand gold leads. Okay, we're back to life. They still have massive gold leads, but the fact that they're fallible, like they're killable, SK is able to find these ways to get onto them is why you can never count out SK. Last game, we were in a similar position and they somehow scraped together a couple of comeback fights. They have a lot more work to do, but it feels like you can just never count SK out.
I mean, look at that Red Bull Baron power play, minus 1,500 gold. So ultimately, yeah, the gold leads are still there, but damage was done to the economy. And SK have been given a glimmer of hope. The GA, once they get stunned for Skeanz, he's going to have a lot more backline threat. Just don't look at the levels, okay? If you just don't look at the levels...
See, I hadn't until you mentioned that, and now I'm realizing.
Yeah. That's almost a level 17 Mundo.
See, I feel like when you say don't look at the level, it's kind of like you're telling me the opposite.
Yeah, but I was kind of hoping that you wouldn't do that. Okay. I was kind of trying to give you advice.
Oh, okay.
You know how like in games, when they're just like, hey, don't go in there? And
well,
then
the moment
when
you tell me
go
not to do something,
yeah,
I'm going to want to do it.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to have to work on that.
I've been trying to fix that my whole life, Eddie. I don't think we're getting through that in 1 week. But NAVI continue the sieges. They will take another tier 2 turret in the mid lane this time around. So there's only inhibitor turrets left.
Whoa.
As Maynter getting in onto Mikyx. NAVI in the jungle, but Maynter's all alone. The wall pushes away Rhilech, and Jopa gets the kill. SK find their pick.
Is this a dragon contest for SK, or is this just a stall? Getting a pick onto Maynter is good. They still have the Mikyx ult. They still have all their ultimates.
Leaders TPing to the bottom side, so I guess they want to front the back. Skeanz is already in the pit, but he doesn't have the whole team ready for it. Now Wunder and Jopa are joining in. Skeanz is going in for the dragon, but he cannot get it this time. Rhilech will secure it, as SK are now in a 4v4. Losing their jungler, NAVI will back away instead. Not pushing for more. They got what they came for. That is sole point for NAVI.
So you know how there's like stigma against Chemtech Soul?
Yeah.
I think it's good on like front to back comps, just because it makes you way more durable, right?
Yeah.
Now
This looked like a pick on a Mikyx.
I thought Mikyx was dead, bro. I really thought he was dead. He doesn't even use his ult here. Instead, Maynter is isolated. You made a good call there with the wall recognition. Wunder throwing that down, making it hard for the rest of NAVI to follow up. But it ends up being a 50-50. Skeanz kind of trapped in the pit. He doesn't really have any HP. I think there's a world where maybe Mikyx could have just ulted earlier to give him more HP. He also had the Grim Deliverance. I feel like in this situation, SK kind of need to commit to the fight a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the downside of this composition is their engage also isn't really that strong either. It's kind of just two teams looking at each other and kind of hitting one another.
It's almost leader. Like, you kind of need the Yone to find a big engage.
Yeah. Well, Leader is very weak right now. He is about to take over to level 16, which will be nice for him, but he's still ways away, I think, from that Infinity Edge. But Jopa, again, like, he is kind of the man I am watching once more.
3 items complete on the Inara. This is a big moment for Inara to fight. They find another stun out of Samdi this time around, plus the Fate Seal, but they just don't have the damage to get through the Wild Growth. Lulu keeping Samdi alive. Poby getting huge damage AoE onto all members of SK. That's flash out of Mikyx. And SK have to back up. It looked so good at first, but you never kill the Aphelios through the Lulu unless everybody gets on him.
Yeah, I mean, so we're just talking about how for Leader, he doesn't have Infinity Edge and he doesn't have level 16, and then they try to go for a fight. They think that they've caught out Samdi, and now they're just going to give up a Baron. I think they're going to be way too slow to get back onto the map. Yeah, I mean, the jungler is on the bot side. He's clearing out Krugs. He doesn't care. He can't fight for this. And Samdi, they do get both his sons, which you could argue is a good idea, but the way this comp from SK wants to play is front to back. Ideally, you should be playing Mundo. Like, it's cool if you chunk out Samdi, but committing that hard, I think, was just a mistake. And funnily enough, it's SK that lose 3 flashes on that play.
They almost killed the AD carry, but almost is not close enough, as now NAVI with another Baron buff will look to make this one a positive Red Bull Baron power play as they take down the middle inhibitor. And still have a wave crashing in on the top side for a couple of plates picked up. SK are going to have to find more and more fight inside of their hearts to actually turn this one around. It's been a tough series so far. Multiple pauses, delays, comeback attempts, and you got to wonder how much more do they have in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to find a big miracle. But from this position, I mean, it feels like a pretty guaranteed one game for NAVI.
We see here, yeah, I mean, this was like, this is almost what happened with NAVI last time, too. Like, they're doing a good job winning early games. Sometimes they throw, but, like, this is 3 games in a row now where they've had the, early mid-game gold lead.
Oh, absolutely.
Game 1 wasn't a, demanding one, but still they are playing a very solid version of League of Legends, which is around Rhilech. It is around solo laners finding their advantages themselves, and they've, again, double counterpicked, basically, and they still were able to find this massive gold lead in this game too. Just impressed with how things are coming together for a young roster, as now they look to siege on this bottom side as well. Oh, Rhilech is level 18 to leaders 16, and is able to just kind of bop him down in the 1v1. That's not where
I think he looks at Leader like he's a mosquito or something, just swatting him away.
Oh, but this time he doesn't have the spell shield anymore, so he is actually taking some damage from Leader. Half health. Has the ultimate available.
Yeah, Leader just needs to do that like 3 more times, maybe?
Yeah.
And then Rhilech can ult, and then another 3 more times.
It's a start,
Sure, yeah.
You got to take it one step at a time.
Every difficult journey requires a single step. You are right.
as it's so difficult to actually get these waves to crash anytime Wunder specifically is there. The Anivia wave clear, legendary. And even Ynnara wave clear, very strong, as Rhilech again just chunked out by leader here. This time Skeanz is around. This time the Fate Seal will land, but Skeanz doesn't want to commit to it. And Rhilech didn't even pop the ultimate, so Mundo is still going to be tanky.
And I think they're going to get Soul. I think that they are just going to do exactly what they're supposed to do. I like their use of the Baron here, just push in mid, push in bot. And this is what I was talking about game 1, remember? Where you basically just keep those waves pushed, you suffocate the vision, and now SK can't see anything. So approaching the Baron becomes very difficult. You don't even need all members of NAVI to do the Baron. You can basically just send Sandy alone. He can blast going over the wall, he can take it, or they can all just rush it down the second that it spawns, which is also just fine.
They don't need parrots, it's fine. Yeah, he's just gonna go for the early back. There we go. Reset as the Lulu. Dragon Soul secured here for Navi, uncontested. SK, all they can do is catch these waves. Too much pressure being put on them, and that is Chemtech Soul. Vedi, you were talking about, it's oftentimes not considered the strongest Dragon Soul, but in these type of situations, when it is these front to backs, when you have a Renekton and a Mundo, it just makes it a lot harder to actually finish the kill.
Insult to injury, for sure. Yeah, and so Navi, I mean, the question is, do they wait for Baron, or do they just try and end-2? I think that they could kind of do either, to be completely honest with you. The wave clear from SK is the most annoying part, and Nivea's just, I think he's just pissing Navi off, to be completely honest with you. He's like, I ult, I Q, I ult, I Q, I wall, I ult, I Q.
And at any moment, if you overstep, he walls and Qs you.
Yeah.
And then you're in trouble, which is what set up SK for a almost comeback play. Like, they were able to get the goal, I believe, towards like 7K deficit. Now Navi has won that back with another Baron play, but Wunder has found a couple of moments in this game and in this series, and often SK kind of rely on this guy. Like, when their backs are against the wall, it is Wunder that often steps up and makes that pick, makes that play happen for them.
I feel like if anyone's going to carry, it's going to be Jopa. He's got the items to do it, I think. Getting level 16 would help him a lot as well. But really, like, because the Baron is still a minute and a half away, SK at least have a little bit more time to finish more items if they can. There's level 16 now finished for Jopa. So 3 points in the ulti is going to be a value upgrade for him.
Yeah, I mean, the super minions coming in has just given consistent XP and gold to the carries of SK. So we're in this really, like, delayed stalemate. The carries are at, like, max level almost. Samdi's 1 level behind 18. Poby's 18. Leader's going to hit 18 this game, I bet.
That is a GA now finished for the Renekton.
Also, just noticing, Rhilech is 10 CS away from a Flame Horizon in the jungle.
Oh, yeah, so he is.
A reminder, he level 1 had the flash away from an invade that he gave, and then still got ahead of Skeanz in the clear.
Yeah, Wunder likes farm. Wunder going for flank.
He's going for the flank right now, lands the first cleaver onto Jopa. That is a slow, as well as the Moonlight Vigil. Jopa's got to get out of there. Dodges the Death Laser, and the Anivia wall will help him out, but that's Transcend oneself down on the Ynnara. Will not have it available for the Baron in 25 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're contesting Baron. I think that they're hoping for a fight when Navi go for the siege. Navi are taking their sweet time, though. Jopa going to try and lifesteal back, but here comes Rhilech.
Yeah, it's scary to be up here, but he is able to back away. Again, not a lot of hard engage on the side of Navi. It's just Mundo running at you, and Renekton had no flank angle there. He wasn't even close by, so. Okay, we're back to the Farm Fest. We're back to a bit of a mid-ARAM here as Wunder throws up the wall onto Rhilech, who will flash forward. Poby as well, trying to get in on them. Just running forward, so no flash on the Mundo, but they will just back off towards the Baron, which has spawned. It's about sending a message.
Wait, can they contest? Oh no, Leader doesn't have TP. They can't contest this. Yeah, Leader has gone full, what I would describe solo queue, in that he is just power farming, trying to get strong himself so that he can try and maybe be useful later. Get mid tower, get a little bit of gold back. He's set his sights on the bot tier 2. I mean, if you can steal this, that's a nice injection of gold.
Yeah.
Can't afford to overstay. He'll just take the plates for now.
2 plates, but they got the mid turret, so that is actually technically currently a negative Baron power play.
Hex Optics now done for Jopa. So like this gold, I mean, we said it last game, right? It just means less and less the later into the game you go. Because the 80 carries are actually even on items, by the way. I mean, you can't see it right now. But that gold graph is deceptive because all that really matters is the items. And I will say that, yeah, Rhilech's items are probably the scariest.
Oh, Mickey yet again, pretty far forward here, throws up the tornado, has the flash available, but won't have to use it right now. As NAVI pop the Shirelias for the move speed, get some damage on the Jopa, but it's all about this inhibitor, and SK seem like they are fine giving that up. Again, it just means super minions will keep shoving in. Rhilech hit by the wall, has the CC immunity from the passive, and we'll pick that back up to heal us. Now they look to use this third Baron buff to start sieging onto the Nexus turrets for the first time this game. The 2 cannons are cleared out as SK now look to defend the bottom side here. Maynter pushing another wave in with 2 cannons as well. Flashes forward onto Wunder. No flash on the Anivia. Damage on the Skeanz, but Wunder's able to back away. Rhilech actually heavily chunks down as Jopa was free firing for quite a bit. NAVI will just get the inhibitor and then go for a reset. And we got more League of Legends in front of us, Betty.
Slow and steady is the game plan from NAVI. They are just walking at SK. It feels like SK really just don't have the damage to really stop Rhilech. Remember, he didn't ult now. He got low, did not ult. So
I think maybe he's got a mission. He's like, guys, I'm not going to need my ult for the rest of this game. I'm just not going to press it.
Seems like that is his game plan.
Yeah.
He is another raid boss. We keep seeing him in this series.
And Vedi, I don't want to like... I don't know if this is considered a caster curse. Well, first off, curses aren't real. You firmly have believed that
correct,
and have
yes.
tried to convince me. It almost feels like we're in one of these games it's just never going to end. The wave clear is too strong, but sometimes...
No, I'm saying it right now.
Yeah?
NAVI can't lose this game. It's literally impossible. They will win.
Betty, I don't know what to tell you.
Look, they're ending the game right now.
They are trying to end the game right now.
Look at where SK are.
Elder Dragon's up in 10 seconds. SK are setting up for the objective. NAVI are instead pushing in with the Baron buff. But they're also looking at this top turret instead. Maynter was not grouped up with the team. He will just take the turret down. The inhibitor is still up, and he walks away. Split from the team, but has the GA available, so NAVI could always back him up if SK oversend onto him. Maynter's just going to be a thorn in the side of SK, while NAVI now head back towards the Elder.
3 inhibitors down, inhibitor unavailable. Why did I say inhibitors twice? Elder Dragon now being secured.
Started up by NAVI. Leader does have the teleport, and there is a flanking ward available. Instead, he's going to TP for the front to back. Maynter as well TPing into the pit. NAVI controlled the approach. They have the banana bush, and SK just can't get in there yet, but they push back NAVI with the Anivia ultimate.
Maynter flank.
Maynter has the flank angle. Jopa is in trouble right now. Watch for the Yanara. Maynter just walks at him, but is not able to get onto him, but the dragon is secured. That's Elder for NAVI, and that means a teamfight win. The Fate Seal from Leader looks fancy, but it's just not enough damage. Too little, too late. Shut down on the Parus don't mean much. NAVI with a double kill to Samdi will take the Elder, take the fight, and take game 3.
Excellent smite from Rhilech to help secure the Elder. Both junglers were locked in to securing that objective because it could have been the difference maker in the outcome of the fight. But NAVI, it'll take them 40 minutes, but they'll close this one out and they'll go 2-0 up on the weekend.
Elder Dragon can end games, and that's the story of this game. NAVI take game 3 in the series.
Whew, a long one. Longer one than expected,
yes,
for sure. But NAVI, they walk away victorious this weekend as SK drop down to 0-2. So very different weekends for both teams as NAVI starting their Spring Split off strong. It's single round robin best of 3. And so the fact that they've already beaten Koi is huge for them.
That is massive.
In the context of contesting those top of the spots. But for SK, these losses, I mean, they can have huge impact as we get later into the season.
And reminder to vote for your player of the series, Rhilech, Poby, or Parus. I mean, I feel like it's hard to not go Rhilech for me if I'm voting on it, but I think also nod the Poby, nod the Parus as well, as NAVI take a bow well-earned there.